everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, the enlightened, excited Eddie V. Joining me is Bossman himself, the one, the only, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, I have arrived. I'm in my chair. I am talking into the microphone for Nintendo content.
Yes.
For the 299th time.
Yes.
I'm officially announcing my retirement from all content.
No!
Just
No!
kidding. Just kidding.
Is there cake?
Nope, no cake.
Oh.
Well,
Is the cake real or is it a lie?
can't announce it until there's cake.
And everybody, not only do we have two special guests from another Zelda podcast, but they are also part of Boss Rush Network. And you know I had to start with the one, the only, the lovely and sensational Miss Stephanie Klimov. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, I'm back. I'm happy to be back here talking about my favorite company that loves to torture us in a
Disney.
loving way. Oh yeah, well that too. But anyway, thanks for having me on episode 300 Eve.
Yes. Pre E to no, I don't know. And of course, everybody, we had to give the other podcaster and writer of so many amazing articles and content on Boss Rush Network. If you have not read one of his pieces of work for another Zelda podcast and Boss Rush Network, you guys are missing out. He is the encouraging and exquisite Mr. Shane Kelley. Hello, good sir.
Hello, thank you for that lovely intro. I'm
He
excited to
gives
be here
great
tonight.
intros, right?
Yes, he does.
Amazing adjectives.
They're a little long.
Yeah, very excited to be part of tonight.
Thank you for joining us. How are you all doing? How was your weekend? Stephanie, I'm going to start with you. How was your weekend?
It was good. Saturday, I got an awesome massage so I could actually, sleep at night. So that felt good. And then Sunday, I just grilled a nice, steak and corn with homemade mashed potatoes for my dad for Father's Day. Oh, I guess I should have said that for Snacktown. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's
I
good.
didn't hear anything.
Yep. But yeah, that was kind of it. Low key, just the way I like it.
All right. Shane, how was your weekend?
It was pretty amazing. I'll talk about most of the food I had, but I brought my dad down to it's called the Kohler Design Center. It's where all the Kohler toilets and faucets and all that are made.
Mm-hmm.
Very close to us. And in the basement, they have a history museum. On the main floor, they showcase all their toilets and their shower heads and their sinks. And then upstairs, they have a designed area where artists take the fixtures and incorporate them in spaces like bars and showers and other things. And then you can kind of get ideas of how you want to make your living space. So
Cool.
That was pretty fun.
Yes. Corey, how was your weekend?
It was all right. We just kind of hung out and went to my parents' house yesterday because not only was it Father's Day, but my mom's birthday is tomorrow. So we kind of did the whole two birds with one stone thing and just took the kids over and hung out. Super fun.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody, we recorded our Pride panel Saturday. I did it with LeBron and Grayson. I know, Stephanie, you couldn't make it, but we got you next year, girl. We got you.
Yay!
I mean, we don't have to wait for Pride Month to do a Pride panel.
That's true.
I like to celebrate all year round.
Ah, there you go.
It's like should be celebrated more than just the designated month they assigned.
That is true. Yes. But thank you to Ratsu for recording and doing the production. Thank you, Corey, for the backgrounds. The background is blazing hot. and the cover that you got us, I want a shirt with the BIP.
Yeah, can you like upload that onto the site so I can like get stickers of that and stuff?
Yeah, I can do that as we are speaking right now because my laptop's right in front of me. So yes,
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, look, I wanted it to be like a thing, you know, and it's just gotta go all out for these things, you know. So
It was perfect. Corey texted me the pictures, and I think I probably said yes like 8,000 times, like in capital letters, like a whole paragraph.
yeah,
like,
you definitely were like yes. I was like
because he just did it so perfectly. He just like, is this good enough? I'm like, hey, Corey, I want a shirt of this. I want a poster. I want this on his desktop. Like, it is everything. But once again, thank you, Grayson. Thank you, Naran. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Stephanie. Including you, even though you couldn't make it. I'm including you because I cannot wait for you to come on and we discuss some things. But it was
can't wait to hear it.
Yes, it was a great discussion. We did 4 topics. We didn't do playing with power, which I call playing with pride. We kind of went on for about an hour and a half with this, so it was kind of already a little bit long. But it was such a great discussion, just really good. And we did our top 3 hot characters from 2010 to now. So you guys will have to look out for that to know who we chose. But it was a great panel. And pretty much just worked this weekend. Some things did happen at work, but other than that, it was just kind of smooth. And Friday we kind of had some playtime with TMNT2, and I am going to get wrecked for this for Snack-Tendo, so I'm going to just talk about that when we get into that section, because I already know I'm going to get some looks and some voices of opinions about the kind of pizza that I got. So, but before we go on, we got some Patreon shout outs. Corey, you want to shout out our Patreons?
I suppose I can do that, Ed. Remember, for just $1, you can head on over to patreon.com/Boss Network to support us, and you get 4 shows early, including 2-week early access to Standard Definition and After Dark, as well as 1-week early access to Nintendo Pow Block Expansion Pass and the audio version of the Boss Rush podcast. But if you subscribe at the $5 tier, that means you become a Patreon producer. What does that mean? It means you get your name shouted out on this here program, as well as many others. The following people are our Patreon producers for this great episode of Nintendo Pow Block. We have Quentin Jackson, Rebecca Jewell, Adriel Munger, and my wife, Sana Dirrig. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank everybody that listens for free. It's, it's a pleasure doing this show for you. If you don't subscribe on Patreon, you can always leave us a nice review on iTunes or Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating. It really helps. It really helps a lot. So I got a really nice message from Adriel Munger on Discord about, it's not from the show, it's from the Boss Rush podcast, but it kind of talked about our content in general. And she just was very nice and very sweet about our content and talking about it and being so open about it, and how everybody has been just a pleasure in the Discord and the community, and how our content is just something that she really loves to support. And it really kind of like humbled me and us in a way. So just special shout out to that. That was really nice to read on Discord, especially after like everything that I've been kind of like thinking about and everything. It was really nice to read. And so shout out to Adriel for that message. It was really nice.
Oh, Corey's thinking again.
I am. It's just it's
part of who he is.
I can't help it.
No, but But for real though, that's awesome feedback.
Yeah. I really like hearing people's feedback, but when it's something like that, it just it hits different and makes me feel like what we're doing here is not that we wouldn't do it anyway, but it just makes it feel like we're doing a good job and doing what we kind of set out to do. Whether it's Pow Block or Boss Rush or another Zelda podcast or friends that we work with outside of here. It just makes it really worth it. So, just wanted to give a little shout out.
All right. Well, everybody, it's time to get to Snacktendo. And Shane, I want to start with you with the Snacktendo because you just had some goody goods today. But go ahead.
I had to write them down because I had some good ones this week. So for Father's Day on Saturday, I brought my parents, my family, and then my sister and her fiance and my brother joined. We went to this place called Black Wolf Run, which is a golf course down in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Never been there before, didn't know it existed, but it got good reviews. So went there, and I ordered smoked beef brisket sliders. And now, I don't even know how to describe this, but the brisket was the best brisket I've ever had. It literally just melted in your mouth. It was that thin, that juicy. It had caramelized onion. It had barbecue sauce, and it had a pepper and pineapple relish on top of a Hawaiian roll, and it was amazing. And that was just the stuff I ate. So there was, my dad had this awesome burger.
Is it top tier or anointed?
Whatever's better, Ed. That one. And then on Sunday, for Father's Day, I went to, it's called Dolly's. It's in Manitowoc. It's a really nice, just brunch type place. They have a slammer, which is kind of like the Denny's slammer, French toast with the eggs, cheese, bacon, and it was amazing. Had hash browns, and I got a iced macchiato. Oh, that was delicious. And then tonight, you probably saw on Discord, I made that Cajun style blackened tilapia with lemon rice and red beans, and it was also very delicious. But nothing could beat that Saturday meal. It's one of the most expensive things that I've ever had that I paid for because I paid for 5 people. But it was totally worth it. So yes, that's my Snacktendo.
Anything else? Or you said you had to write it down? Or that was all?
I wrote it down. I've got 2 pages of notes here. So that's how I prepare for these things.
Okay. Corey, what have you been snacking
on? Well, so I was kind of like... I was kind of staying away from like sweets and stuff for the last week because I had a dentist appointment today, and long story short, this was the first time I've been to the dentist since like before COVID and like way before COVID, probably since like 2018 or whatever. And not gonna lie, a little worried. Also, this is kind of the first time I've had dental in a while, dental insurance. So, but I was kind of like freaking out about it because I don't like the dentist because I'm a child, a 35-year-old child.
Nobody does.
But yeah, so I kind of stayed away from like a lot of sweets and stuff until after the dentist today when I had 3 giant chocolate chip cookies. But yesterday we went over to my parents' house and we cooked a bunch of food and I grilled some onions and green peppers, some asparagus and broccoli, some chicken breasts that were marinated in Italian dressing, some sausages, some burgers, and we just kind of ate cookout food at my parents' and some corn on the cob we had. Yeah, man, it's look, grilling, like grilled food is so good, but it's such a lot of work. Like it just, yeah,
Totally worth it.
So, sometimes I mean, like, so I don't really like to cook because I managed a restaurant for 12 years.
Oh, sure.
And I just was always on the grill cooking, and it was not great. So like every time I have to cook food, I'm like, oh boy, it's like PTSD, but not really, because that's something really stupid to have PTSD over. But you know, it's just like brings back all those memories, we'll call them. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We just kind of hung out. My parents saw the kids, and we kind of talked about our Disney trip a little bit. We kind of talked about, you know, some other things that are going on. So it was a good time. It's a good time. Tell you what, I gotta tell you what though, an Italian sausage with some grilled peppers and onions on it. There's not a lot of food that really beats that for me. Like a bratwurst with some grilled peppers and onions, all kinds of stuff. It's just so good. Very good. Chicken was also very good. Of course, after it was marinated in the Italian dressing, I proceeded to add some kickin' chicken to it. Because I like my mouth to be on fire when I eat food.
Charmander.
My butt's not on fire, Ed.
All right.
Charmander's butt's on fire. That's how you know he's alive.
His tail.
His tail goes out, he's dead. Sorry.
Don't tell me there are times where you ate some really difficult food and your butt was not on
Oh,
fire.
there were, but this was not one of those times. And even if it was, I would not share it with the class, because that's just disgusting. Save that for after dark. Well, I guess we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good. I like going over there. They have a really nice patio, and it was really nice out, just kind of hanging out. You know, it's just fun.
Never had grilled chicken with Italian dressing, like marinated.
I thought you were about to say you've never had grilled chicken. I was about to slap you, because we had a whole Chick-fil-A conversation about you eating grilled chicken instead of the good chicken.
Well, yes, that is true. But Stephanie, what have you been snacking on?
So as I mentioned earlier, I made my dad a really nice Father's Day feast, and my history is a bit different since I didn't sweat over a grill at a job, so maybe that's why I have a different feeling towards grilling. But I also have a
Not recommended.
I also have a wood pellet grill. It's an electric grill, so I think it's also kind of easier. And I don't know, because all my life it's always the man that handles the grill. Well, now that I'm just living on my own with my son, I man the grill. So it's like this exciting, fun thing, and a pellet grill can double as a smoker. So yeah, I applied a dry rub. It's like Alton Brown's dry rub to some beef tenderloin, and I grilled that up. Grilled the corn in their husks, and I made my own mashed potatoes with butter and cream and salt and all that good stuff. And then Nikolai and I made these orange cookies for Nikolai's father. They're like these buttery, soft cookies that melt in your mouth. And we use a lot of orange zest and juice from like fresh juice from the fruit itself to give that cookie a nice bright citrus flavor. So I think that was kind of the gist of my culinary experience this past week.
Okay.
Sounds
Nice.
delicious.
Well, for me, I had Taco Bell's burrito breakfast Sunday.
Taco Bell breakfast, Ed? That was your big surprise?
I said fast food. I mean, it was in the burrito. Now it's not the size of crazy burritos.
Hey, I'm all for a good breakfast burrito, but you made it sound like you said I had a certain fast food breakfast.
Right, because I wasn't trying to be judged in the pre-show.
You just wait till now for us to judge you.
Yeah,
well, for me.
Well, of course. But it was good. It wasn't that bad. They had some kind of melted like sweet cream like balls that they dipped in. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, it was really good. Like some cinnamon kind. And then they had a big hash brown that was just like,
Mm.
I'll stick to McDonald's because that the hash brown was like hard and dry. I'm like, ooh,
Ooh.
y'all really cooked this. Had let's see what else. Okay, so I had Pizza Hut Friday. I know I'm gonna get judged, but I had Italian sausage, black olives, and I never had banana peppers on. So I decided to try it. It wasn't bad. It has a really tangy taste.
Yes, that's why I love them.
So, of course, we was playing a certain 6-player game, which I talked about playing with power. And so I was just like, okay, I know people are going to get their pizza and everything, so I'll just do my Pizza Hut. I know I'm going to get judged about it. Everybody relax. The following day, I had Domino's, which was really good. And Saturday, Sunday, the other manager who was there, she had Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday. That's who she brought the Pizza Hut to. Brought the pizza Hut, and I just like literally devoured it. Not Pizza Hut, Domino's. I'm sorry, Domino's. I literally devoured it. She had the handmade Domino's and just they only took whoever was eating it or everything, they only got like maybe 2 slices and there was like 6 slices left. So I ate all 6 slices throughout my work shift that I ate it. I had a burrito bowl from Chipotle, nothing new. When I can't leave my store, I had to order all the food that's closest to me. So pretty much Jimmy John's, Chipotle, or Domino's. That's the only 3 options that I have. Everything else I have to, go and pick up. And I don't need to go through DoorDash or anything when stuff is literally across the street from me. So, but pretty much that's it. I had some milk and cookie, ice cream from Ben and Jerry's, which was good, and what else? Yeah, some of the cosmic brownies from Little Debbie's I had, which is so good. Yeah, I ate up all my Honey Nut Cheerios, and now I'm saddened.
I love Honey Nut Cheerios. It's so simple, but it's a delicious snack.
Yes. But that's it for Snacktendo. Man, and everybody, I hope you all had a great Snacktendo throughout the weekend, with your family. But it's time for Hey You, What's New? Corey, what's new?
We have 3 major games coming to Nintendo Switch this week. Tell me if you've heard of them. Wreckfest. Wreckfest is jam-packed with upgrade and customization options, whether you prepared for your next demolition derby with reinforced bumpers, roll cages, side protectors, and much more, or setting your car up for a banger race with engine performance parts like air filters, camshafts, fuel systems, etc. Wreckfest is shaping up to be the best combative motorsport game out there. Ed, you and Jesse played this, right, on Xbox, because it came out there a couple years ago, I think, at this point.
Yes.
So
it's a really fun game. It takes some time to learn, but once you get the mechanics and start customizing your car, you get a better feel and flow to it.
And I like the couch derby. You can drive a couch around, and you can drive the lawnmower around.
You drive a couch around? That's awesome.
You have to do a figure 8 with couches, and you gotta avoid hitting the other couches over the figure 8 and try to win, and it's like very hard. Awesome. And then the lawnmower derby, where you like smash into each other to get the best score. It's kind of fun.
So the next game, Sonic Origins, relive the classic collected adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD in the newly remastered Sonic Origins. From the iconic Green Hill Zone to the treacherous Death Egg robot, You'll speed down memory lane to thwart the sinister plans of Dr. Robotnik in polished high definition. This latest version includes new areas to explore, exclusive animations, and a brand new anniversary mode. I'm still really confused when they say Sonic 3 and Knuckles, if they mean Sonic and Knuckles plus Sonic 3, because there's no mention of Sonic and Knuckles in this collection at all. Like, at all. But the Sonic and Knuckles content for the other two games is in it? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's weird.
But, yeah, I don't know. Is anybody getting this? I am.
I am.
I'm a loser and like to spy Sonic whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
Wow, Stephanie's dropping stuff.
Party foul.
She's excited too.
Oh, jeez.
I want to hear Sonic 2, like the soundtrack in my headphones when I'm on the go.
I think I've played it too many times. I'm gonna buy it again. So.
But I never played Sonic 3 all the way.
Oh, well then.
And
by all
Sonic,
means.
yeah, Sonic CD. I'm going to give that one a try, and I want to see what the new areas are. Sonic the Hedgehog, I may go back.
Sonic 1's the best one.
Sonic 1 makes me want to drink sometimes.
Wow.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel there, Edward.
I'll drink for you.
Oh, jeez. Anyways.
I don't really have the nostalgia for Sonic like most people, but I definitely think I would get this just so I can experience the, Origins. Play, very funny. But, it might not be day one for me, but I am curious to kind of see what the huge fan base, is all about.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a couple weird versions of this game, too, where, like, there's a $40 version that is just the games, and then there's like a weird alternate soundtrack version that costs $5 more.
Okay,
it's like,
what's the price going for? Do you know?
It's $40 for the base one and $45 for the soundtrack ultimate gold edition or whatever they're calling it. I don't know.
Chaos Emerald edition.
Yeah, I do know that Sonic 3 has a lot of soundtrack licensing because a lot of it belongs to the Michael Jackson estate.
Yeah.
Fun fact. So that's why it's never on any of these Sega Genesis collections that come out. And it probably won't come to Nintendo Switch Online because of the
arrangements.
How much it costs to put this game back out. So I
wonder if it... I was
ahead.
just gonna say, I wonder if the original soundtrack is on YouTube to do like hear a comparison.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but I remember that's what happened with Sonic CD for a long time, and when they released it on XBLA, they had a brand new soundtrack for that game because they couldn't to sell it for $5. They couldn't afford the licensing for the original music. It was cheaper for them to make a whole new soundtrack. So, and not as good. The game's not great, but soundtrack not as good.
That's interesting. I thought Sega owned all that music.
I have a question, and I'm not sure if you covered it when I stepped away briefly, but because of the Sonic movies actually being one of the few successful video game movies, do you see any kind of new players to Sonic at the timing of this release, or do you think that's pretty negligible?
I mean, my nephews are into Sonic, but they only know him from the movies and like the comic books and stuff. They don't really have Sonic games, and so like I think they've played a Sonic game, like something that's on Xbox or something at some point, but they are not huge Sonic game people. So maybe this will draw them in. Maybe Sonic Frontiers will be the one that draws them in. I'm not 100% sure.
Go ahead, Shane.
I was just going to say my daughter saw the movie and she asked if there was any games because she saw that ending credit where it looks like, on the Sega Game Gear or something. And so I hopped on the Nintendo Online and tossed in Sonic 2 and she played to the 4th level. So I was impressed.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
I know before the Sonic movies, I I know people were getting into the cartoon that was like on Fox Kids, and a lot of people were buying Sonic on like the handhelds, like on DS, and they weren't buying it for PlayStation or anything, but they were doing it for Wii and Wii U. A lot of the Sonic games were being brought, so now it may be different, but last time I feel like the Sonic fan base grew was when DS and Wii was out.
All right. Well, Sonic the Hedgehog coming out Thursday, right before Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes.
Yeah.
Stepping in the shoes of Shez as they join Edelgard, Dimitri, Claude, and other Fire Emblem Three Houses characters and fight for the future of Fodland. Align with a leader to build and command an army in a strategic 1 versus 1,000 style battles. The house you choose will bring you through one of 3 compelling stories, each with a different outcome. Who's buying 3 Hopes?
Nope.
I am. I already got a pre-order for Best Buy.
Nice. I'm not a Warriors type of gamer, so it's nothing against Fire Emblem. It's just not my style.
Well, I'm the opposite. I don't like Fire Emblem, so.
Ooh, well, Shane, it's been nice knowing you. You can exit the call. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not that I haven't played them. It's just I get upset when I lose my character, and then I don't want to play it.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I'm just messing. I will get it reluctantly because I love 3 Houses so much, and I love these characters. That I will suffer through a Warriors game to, similar to Age of Calamity. You suffer through the Warriors motif to revisit these characters.
I can. The shade and the slander, I cannot.
I don't know. I beat the game, Warriors. It was pretty good. So
see, that's the thing. Like, I love Zelda is still my number 1 franchise. I love Zelda. But I couldn't even finish Hyrule Warriors. I just couldn't. I tried so hard. I couldn't. I couldn't.
It's a struggle. The whole Warriors motif is a struggle. Even when they try to do something different, like with Zelda, and do all these cool like special moves for these characters, or Fire Emblem when they actually implement like the strategic mechanics into the action battle stuff, it just, at the end of the day, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of just button mashing. Like, it sounds fun. Like, it really does sound fun. Like, oh, I'm just going to mow through these guys and see the story and see the outcome and stuff. And then, like, just like an hour in or 2 hours in, it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I just want something interesting to happen.
The game gets too repetitive.
Yeah, and I get that that's the point of those games, right? Like, I understand, and those games sell millions of copies, and it's yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, but those are the 3 major games coming out. I don't know if anybody had anything else compelling they were looking to pick up this week, but those were the definitely getting into Nintendo release season, as you might say.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's coming out this week. I know there's still stuff being talked about. I know Fall Guys is coming out this week for free on Switch. And I might pick it up there on Switch and give it a try and see.
Yeah, that and they're still promoting Strikers, and obviously, which we'll talk about later in the news, that they're going to be heavily promoting another game that's coming out soon that they're dedicating a full 20 minutes to, that I'm not going to be salty about.
What do you mean?
Oh, another game, Elect Head.
You're just making up words now, Ed.
No, it's actually...
Elect Head's coming out this week?
Yeah, it's coming out on the 23rd this week. And I think it was. I gotta find out what indie showcase it was that they showed it. I think it was
in May.
Okay. Yeah, that one really looked interesting, and I want to get it.
It's on my list to buy too. Although part of me is scared because I'm like, oh, you have to be really smart and use your brain to figure out puzzles. I'm not really that smart.
Oh my goodness, they got a Sudoku game with cats. What?
Cat Doku. Is that what it's called?
Shiny.
So do cats. And Capcom's Fighting collection comes out this week also.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That might actually be worth picking up too. I kind of with the announcement of Street Fighter 6, I know it's not coming to Switch or anything, but I've been really eager to play fighting games for some reason, and I'm not a fighting game person. Like
Interesting.
I think Street Fighter 6 looks cool. I almost bought Street Fighter 4 Ultimate on Xbox last week because it was on sale for $5 with all the DLC.
Nice.
Oh.
And 5 isn't out on Xbox. It was
That's
a PlayStation
sale.
exclusive. So I was like, I kind of want to play Street Fighter. And then I was like, but do I? And I was like, yes, I do. And then I didn't buy it because I'm a loser. So
the last one is the Pocket Rocky Reshrine. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that one.
who's looking forward to that, Ed? You? 1 out of 4 people is looking forward to Pocket Rocky Reshrine.
I never got to play Pocket Rocky on Super Nintendo, and so I've been excited playing it because someone had like the international version and they were showing it off, and I'm like, oh, I want to play this so bad.
Sounds like a Willy Wonka candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So.
good times. Good times. So actually, before we move into the news, Ed, I want to...
question block.
No, I want to introduce it. Oh, yeah, question block. I want to introduce a new segment, I think, to kind of be more in line with the website, because we try to do it, and then we don't do it, and then I would like to try to do it again. Content shout-out. Funnily, the author is on the panel today. Who said it was you, Stephanie? What if I wanted to shout out something Shane wrote recently?
Yeah, and I would be that excited for Shane.
Yeah, and I read the show notes.
So Stephanie wrote a game review of a Memoir Blue from Annapurna and Cloisters Interactive. A Memoir Blue is an interactive poem about a superstar athlete and an all-encompassing love between mother and daughter. A unique aesthetic combining hand-drawn and 3D art brings Miriam's magical realist journey to life as she swims into the depths of her memories. A series of gameplay vignettes blends sacrifice and heartbreak with victory and pride as she reconnects with her inner child and deepens the love she shares with her mother. Read the review, bossrush.net. Stephanie, I think you... judging just by reading the review, I think you thought this game was all right.
Yeah, I do recommend it. It's on Game Pass. The game is literally no more than an hour. And I cried at the end. I'm like, I'm not going to cry. I ain't going to cry. And by the end, I kind of cried. Really, like, I had any negatives I had about it is very nitpicky. Like, it's definitely not the most stellar story-driven game, but it was enjoyable. And I don't know, just the theme about family, like parent child, just very touching. And I feel like Annapurna, next to Devolver Digital, they just put out some really good stuff.
Nice.
So I recommend it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll head into question block then, if that's all right with everybody.
Yes.
Grayson Morales, friend of show, is in the chat, by the way. Hello, Grayson. Good to see
Hi,
you.
Grayson.
Hey, friend.
You know what, Grayson? Since you're here, we're going to read your question first. I'm feeling spicy, switching it up a little bit from the show notes. Grayson Morales writes in. He says, what game do you think will be your favorite for 2022? So, yeah. While my children are crying, I'm going to mute. Ed?
Okay, so right now it's kind of hard. What's going to be it right now? My game that is leading right now is Kirby and Forgotten Lands. I enjoy Ninja Turtles. I can't wait to play Neon White because they said that even that one is Game of the Year. But I had so much fun playing Kirby this year, and that final boss fight is one of the most bunker ball fights of 2022 that I have experienced. I laughed, I was giddy, I enjoyed myself. The game is beautiful. I love the cutscenes. The level design is amazing. It is so relaxing. It's just so great to get into and play. So right now, it is Kirby and the Forgotten Lands.
Did you get 100%, Ed?
No, I did not. Because that game does get very challenging trying to get 100%. And so I just said, you know what? I paid my $60. I got my full of it. I'll go back and do the extra content, but I'm good. There's no extra reward for it. I don't have the 100% it. It was the experience of going through the levels and finding the secrets and just experiencing that game on my own time. And literally just having fun.
Me and my wife got the 100% on it, but like I did the food mini game, and the third one is ridiculously hard. And I think I spent an hour and a half getting closer and closer to my big screen TV, trying to get the food delivered at a very quick pace. And I finally did it. And I was supposed to go to bed at like 9:30. It was like 11. And I'm like, I got to get up at 4 for work. So it's probably time to go to bed. So yeah, it was a good game. I agree.
Yes. So what about you, Stephanie?
So are we talking just in general 2022 or Nintendo specific? But I can break it down real quick. If it was just Nintendo specific, I would probably go with Kirby. I'm not going to reiterate everything that Ed just said, but it really plays as smooth as butter, and it's beautiful. And I'm not like the biggest Kirby fan. Like I could not get in a single Kirby game minus maybe Kirby 64. It just wasn't the franchise for me. But I don't know, just whatever they've done to it just was great. It's a lot of fun. And then it's not out yet, but I'm anticipating, and I'm mentioning this next because it is coming out on Switch, is Hogwarts Legacy, as long as it doesn't get pushed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that might be the case. But if I'm talking like in general beyond Nintendo, I really love Sifu. It's a big contender for a top game of mine. And I can't guarantee it because the gameplay can disappoint me, but Stray. I got a leash for my orange cat, put it on her, took a picture of it, put it next to the cat from Stray, and I got Annapurna to like it, and I'm so excited.
Nice.
Of course, he's shaking his head. So those are I know that I was supposed to probably pick one, and I just put out 4.
So I'm probably going to do the same. I did like Pokemon Arceus.
Yes.
It was very good. I think I'm going to like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet this year. The other one is, what is the Callisto Protocol?
The Callisto Protocol, yeah.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that one. That's made by the guy that made Dead Space. There isn't a date for it yet, but A Plague Tale Requiem. Sorry, the Plague Tale Requiem doesn't have a 2022 date yet. Then the other one is Atomic Hearts, which looks a lot like Fallout. So,
yeah, I am definitely waiting for Bayonetta 3 for Switch. That I'm ready to kick demons, angels, guards, whatever that game has to offer. I'm ready to do it, and hopefully they put her in some more Nintendo gear, because I feel like Bayonetta and Nintendo gear just looks amazing. Or put Astral Chain 2 gear or Astral Chain gear on her. I would love to see what they costume-wise they do with Bayonetta. With that.
It'll be something interesting, I'm sure. I'm sure Bayonetta will have some sort of crazy costumes that are slightly inappropriate versions of our favorite Nintendo characters. I mean, for me, I don't even know if I've really played anything that came out in 2022. I mean, I've played some Turtles and I've played some Destiny Witch Queen, but like nothing else is like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping Hogwarts Legacy switches that up. I'm playing a lot of games that did not come out this year, and I think that's okay with me right now. But as far as games coming out. I hope Hogwarts Legacy is that game. That's my most anticipated game of the year still. And you know, I hope that it's good. So,
Yes.
man, my son is like
he's very
so all right, so our next question comes from Josh Martin. Are you sure it's Martin? I thought it was Martinez. I thought his name was Josh Martinez.
It's Martinez. I'm sorry. I just
correcting you. Correction. Josh Martinez says, "What if Sega won the console war in the '90s? What would that look like for them? How would that affect Nintendo and the console landscape as a whole?" Well, Josh, lucky for you, next week a big old expansion pass is dropping all about this singular question.
yes.
But I don't mind giving a 5-second preview of it after you guys go, because I'm going to go see if my son is done crying.
Okay. I was thinking about this question when Josh posted it, because I was kind of thinking about, you know, if Sega did win the console wars, what would that all include? Well, you gotta also figure out. You gotta think about the meeting they had about M-rated games. You know, with Howard Lincoln, the Sega president, with Joe Lieberman, I believe. Yep. When they were talking about Night Trap and everything. If they didn't have any of that, I kind of would have to think, well, does Sega win because they also included like a ratings board, or their own rating, and how would that look for the future of gaming? I really think if Sega did win the console wars, I don't think anything would change, because Nintendo had the heavy hitters in third-party support from Japan. Sega did not. Now, it would be Nintendo, the third-party, and Game Boy games versus Sega, with their Game Gear and the Genesis, and maybe some arcade games. Who would come out? Sega doesn't have enough strength in its IPs and quality of games to do that. But if they did for this question, I think they would have a better rollout with the Sega Saturn. I think Nintendo probably would have been thinking, you know what, let's get it back. Let's get in touch with Sony. We've seen Sega being successful. Hey, Sony, we need to team up with you so we get the PlayStation, the Super PlayStation, out on our console. Like Nintendo will be trying to catch up with them. I mean, it would look good for Sega, but you know, Sega would have to do a lot to really hold that for their next console generation. So going from the Sega Genesis to the Saturn, with Nintendo going from the Super Nintendo to the N64, I think Sega probably would have been on their high horse and really just did the same thing that they did back in the past. Just released the Saturn without no fanfare or anything. I think they would probably get it to the point where because they are the number one leading, they are the best, they can do whatever they want. And sometimes that may hurt them in a bit, like in the future. The console landscape as a whole, I think moving into the CD format, and everything, and you know, with the Sega Channel having that online functionality, I think they wouldn't have did that after their next system. I think they would still have to wait to the Dreamcast to getting it. Like Sega would really have to pull in a lot of third-party support, definitely from Japan, away from Nintendo, for them to actually maintain that with the Sega Saturn. And unfortunately, it did not. So
we might be here doing Sega ring block.
I think there could be a few changes. Instead of shirtless Mario, you'd have shoeless Sonic, and that wouldn't leave leave anything for the imagination.
What if does Sonic have human toes, or does he have little like
Oh,
claw feet?
I don't know, furry
Yeah.
digits,
Aw.
I think. And then Smash Brothers, I think, would look a little different. You'd have like Knights versus Seaman or something, and that would be a real weird combo. And then I wonder, would the Dreamcast and Crazy Taxi be more successful, and how would the consoles look today if Sega had won versus Nintendo? So,
yeah, we came up with a pretty compelling show for Expansion Pass. I'm very excited for people to hear that.
Yes.
But yeah, it was. I think Sega has a more compelling case to make a console now than they ever have. To be honest with you, they've consider everything that's under the Sega label, right? And if that all just went quote unquote first party under Sega, right? You have Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, you have Yakuza, you have Sonic, you have Jet Set Radio, you have Sega GT, you have Daytona USA, you have
Virtual Fighter,
Nights in the Dreams, Virtual Fighter, Virtual Cop. You have all these like
Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah, Super Monkey Ball. You have Phantasy Star Online V2, right? They have their foot in almost everything, and I think like, and take that into consideration with third party, and if Sega didn't have to kind of stop publishing the 2K sports stuff, NBA 2K is one of the biggest brands in sports games, right? And second only behind FIFA, and so I think Sega would have a really compelling case right now to release a console if they really wanted to, if they pulled all that in house. But it would be a different landscape, I think, and some people might argue that the PlayStation 1 beat out both of them, but that's a different conversation for a different day entirely. So, but yeah, Sega's a big part of the 90s, and I don't think any of us will ever not remember Sega fondly, even if some of us preferred Nintendo over Sega at the time,
One more thing.
Nope.
For the console thing, for them to winning, I think financially, they probably would have been in a better spot if they won the 90s. If they literally beat Nintendo in the console wars, financially, Sega would have been in a better spot.
Well, if they wouldn't have messed up the Saturn launch, who knows where they would have been, right? Genesis lost to the SNES, but not by much,
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Did everybody answer the question? I'm sorry, I stepped away for a second.
No, I feel like I don't have a lot to contribute since my knowledge is not so great there. I guess my only like kind of side comment would be kind of follow what Ed said about if they were a bit more successful, then they would be in a more financially stable place. However, at the same time, like Nintendo is they're very creative, right? They're always trying to do something different. So even if Sega won the console wars, Nintendo would just find some way, whether it's through different IPs or technology, to stand out. Even if they would not succeed and beat Sega, they would find a way to be different, because that's how Nintendo is managed to stay alive against Sony and Microsoft, is that they're different, not that they're better, quote unquote, in like speed and quality. And not only that, but you know what, sometimes great things can come from failures, and you can see that through those games that Sega owns. And maybe you're right, Corey, that they might be in a great place to release a console. Not that they would, but like things happen for a reason. So that's just my little 2 cents there.
Yeah, and right now I think it still benefits Sega obviously to release multi-platform games and be who they are now, because in the last, I would say 5, maybe even 10 years at this point, they've really found their footing and found out who they really are, besides Sonic. But that's again we'll see what Sonic Frontiers is when it comes out. But for the most part, I think Sega has really found they found an identity, right, with Atlas and Yakuza, and I think they know who they are, and they're doing some really interesting stuff. And I'm excited. It's like Sega is quietly becoming like a major player, and you don't realize how big Sega is until you start thinking of what they've been putting out, or what other companies they own, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch Sega be successful again, because they're weird, and sometimes the gaming industry needs weird. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right, our last question comes from Jack Brow. He says, "What are your hopes for the future of Amiibo?" Put more out. Put Amiibo out so we can buy them. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first comment.
Yeah.
More Zelda
Yeah.
ones.
Yes.
So I can get my last 4.
Yeah.
I think I would like some detachable Amiibos. Like, you could buy additional accessories with it and just dress it up any way that you want. So, I mean, it doesn't change what it would do for games. But, like, I would love to have, like, some Amiibos that I can add stuff on just to have a nice, cool look on my stand after using it.
That would be cool. What was the last amiibo the new amiibo they released? Can't have been Skyward Sword Zelda, right? Please tell me that they released another new amiibo since then.
I think they've released the new Monster Hunter ones.
Monster Hunter? Okay, but still, that's...
But yeah, I don't... Because when Kirby came out, they just re-released the Star Allies ones, I think.
So,
exactly.
It was...
Steve from Minecraft.
Amiibo.
I know they're behind on the Smash Brothers.
I know Metroid would have been after
Metroid Dread, probably. I guess.
Metroid. I don't have my dates, but yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, either things have slowed down with Amiibo, or just it's been kind of quiet on the Amiibo front. So I don't know if eventually is Nintendo just going to just forget about it,
I bet once
not.
the Smash line is done, they just kind of quietly make them go away. I just don't. I don't think enough people are interested. Like, yeah, we go crazy because we can't find them, but I just don't think enough people are into them, and the Toys to Life thing is done.
I just think Nintendo hasn't generated interest for the purpose of them. They have the NES Remix 2. They could make a game that incorporates Amiibo. They could do a Nintendo Land with Amiibo, and they could utilize all sorts of different worlds with each Amiibo. That you could, I don't know, it could be an RPG. It could be just a compilation of games like they would have with Nintendo Land. Or you could unlock stuff from past games, sort of like the NES Remix, but use the characters that you've got. There could be a lot that they could actually use and go forward with it, and probably sell a ton more. So.
Well, see, that's the thing. There's so much they can do with it, right, Shane? Like, the possibilities are endless, but will Nintendo actually do it? Like, I feel so jaded by Nintendo. I'm like, I feel like that they are just going to quietly...
So I backed this book. It's an unofficial Amiibook, and it's got all the Amiibo in it. So.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. So I don't know. I really enjoy them. I just wish they would do something with it, and make a game that, I don't know. Nintendo Land was a pretty decent game for Wii U. They could definitely utilize the variety of ones that they have here. So do something with it. Make some more money. I'll pay.
Well,
so
we'll see what happens Wednesday when a certain direct happens. Maybe there's some surprise Amiibo there that might do something.
I mean, I bet Splatoon gets some. I bet the new Splatoon game gets some.
Yeah.
Even if they're just like recolored versions of the Inklings, or I feel like Splatoon is a pretty easy one to point out and say, hey, if they don't put Amiibo out for that game, they're done. That's my litmus test, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ed, do I throw it back to you just for you to throw it back to me? That seems.
Yes, because it's time for Family News.
There
Yes, Corey, take it away.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for news this week because I think we're all waiting on the big direct, and Summer Game Fest already happened, and Turtles is
It's
out.
not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. July. I'm telling you, July.
Amazing.
I give up.
No, July. I bet July. I bet before July is over, we get a normal direct.
But isn't the 29th the investors meeting too?
Yep.
So they probably would have something before the 29th.
Yeah, that's what Ed and I talked about last week. I think with Lamont, where like, yeah, their investor call is the 29th, but the 29th, like there, it's the 28th here, which I think the 28th is a
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, which makes sense to me.
And then the 29th would be a Wednesday.
Because wasn't it the in February or January 2017 they did the like the Nintendo showcase at night our time, which was the morning in Japan.
Yeah.
Kind of similar situation there.
Yeah. I bet a direct is coming. I bet a major direct comes before the end of July. I would say around the investor meeting. If they have, like, I feel like they have to though, because they need even if they did another game focused direct, I feel like Splatoon, they would need to do one. There's always a Pokemon direct. There's I'm sure they want to show off more than just whatever they showed off for Bayonetta 3 also, because I mean, I know people are excited for Bayonetta 3, but what they showed was not that impressive yet.
Well, the comments were coming in hot in our Boss Rush Writers chat earlier today.
Yeah.
And I've been told, there were years maybe where there was minimal major directs, but a bunch of game focused ones. So that's where I'm like, well, maybe that's the case. So I'm going to have no expectations going forward, just none.
Yeah. Yeah. 2020 we had a lot because all that came out was Animal Crossing and Paper Mario and Pikmin, I think, and Age of Calamity, and those all got game-specific ones. So, yeah, we'll see.
I feel it in my dry bones.
It's nice.
I also have Brain Age, but that didn't.
Don't worry, everybody. We're gonna be doing a direct recap show of the Xenoblade Direct on Thursday, I think. So be prepared for that. And then if there's another direct, we'll do one for that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, did you officially say that as part of the news, like what date, what time? Because I think Xenoblade 3 is in the morning, right?
Yep, I have it here. It's
okay.
It's the last news story here.
7.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, it's the last one. Don't worry. It's my first time. Be gentle. Our first story comes from Game Informer, Marcus Stewart. Here's the summary. Final Fantasy VII fans are excited as Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, or as it is titled, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, was officially announced as the second part of a reimagined epic trilogy. Though this remake isn't making its way to Switch anytime soon, if at all, Square Enix did give Nintendo fans another reason to be excited. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, a PSP prequel to the events of the main story, starring Zack and Sephiroth, is being remastered for all consoles in a package with HD visuals, updated character models more in line with Final Fantasy VII Remake, full voice acting, and a rearranged, updated soundtrack. The game is due out this winter. I remember really liking this game at the time when I played it, even though I'm not a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, but also it's nice to see Square kind of putting effort into making this game worthwhile, because I think they're also altering the battle mechanics, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Who's excited for this?
I am. I definitely am. I never got a chance to play it. And to see that it is coming to also Xbox, I think this this gave me an idea that there is a possibility that we may get those Final Fantasy games after the last game is released. Maybe by the time that happens, Switch 2 will be out, or Nintendo's next console will be out, and depending on how Series X is doing, Series X might also get it. But I'm excited for this. Everybody, when they seen the Switch that Nintendo was getting it, people were excited to be replaying this game, and a lot of people who are going to buy it or said they were going to play it or buy it were going to do it on Switch. So I'm excited to see this. I'm happy to hear this news and see it in action.
Yeah. Shane, Stephanie, anybody?
I was gonna say I haven't played really many of the 3D ones. I've played 13 and 10.
Yeah, the best ones, they say.
Yeah, I guess 13. I don't know about, but I enjoy 1 through 6. I like the top down. Final Fantasy 4 or 2 for the Super Nintendo is my favorite. So
I haven't played many Final Fantasy, but I do love my Final Fantasy X, and I've kind of kept the Final Fantasy VII Remake kind of in the back of my mind. I can only handle really super epic, long, especially if they're RPGs, like games at a time. And I was already working through a lot of like open world, chunky, hefty games.
Yep.
So I'm excited for it, but it's going to have to get in line with everything else for me.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said I really like it 10 because of Lulu and Orin, those two characters. Or are we really liking the plot and that
the
whole
plot is sweet, okay? The love story is real, okay? Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Oh, wow.
Or I will send you a 10-hour loop of the awful laugh that everybody makes fun of. Even though it's not terrible in the context of the story.
You would probably send it anyway.
You're right, I would. I might just send you a shirt that just says ha 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 on it, okay? How do you feel about that?
Can you put some Kit Kats in there too?
Maybe.
So
Yeah, Ed, I'll put Kit Kats in there. The next story is actually something I think a lot of people will be excited for. Alana Haig over at Nintendo Life wrote a story about the team who created AM2R, which, if you guys are unfamiliar, was the Metroid 2 remake that Nintendo tried to pull offline because that same year they happened to release one for the 3DS. So remember that amazing pixel art Metroid 2 fan remake from 2017 entitled AM2R? Well, the team that created that is now on Kickstarter developing an Okami-inspired Metroidvania called Bow Path of the Tea Lotus. The game combines an amazing hand-drawn art style with unique characters and inspired level design. Its look alone should make it stand out among the saturated Metroidvania market on the Switch. Bow Path of the Tea Lotus will release sometime next year, according to their Kickstarter. I don't know if you guys looked at this, but it literally looks like a Metroidvania Okami game. It's literally Okami in a side-scrolling game. So
yeah, I'm looking at it now. Wow.
It looks pretty. It looks very beautiful, and if AM2R has anything to say about it, it will probably also play pretty tight as well.
So I did look at this on Kickstarter a long time ago. I think it was back in March it was funded March 3rd. They were asking $35,000 and they got just $1 shy of $175,000.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's a pretty hefty percentage there.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to Milton, who is one of the developers of AM2R and his other teammate, and this is before they went to Milton went to go do Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and I'm excited for this. Milton is a great designer. He is super cool. He's from Brazil, and I enjoyed talking to him, and I actually got to talk to him on World 1-1. We got some episodes with them. And I'm excited for this game. I think this may be my first Kickstarter game that I support because I really believe in them as a team. This game looks beautiful. I hope they make enough so I can get a physical of this. And when I seen this news, I was so happy to see it. I shout out to Milton and just the whole AM2R team. You know, yes, they thing got like taken down because of the DCMA by Nintendo, or the cease and desist by Nintendo. But look at all the great work they have done from it. So congrats to them. I'm excited for this game. I cannot wait to play it.
Nice.
Yeah. For those who don't know, one of the creators actually was hired by Moon Studios and became a level designer for
Awesome.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and one of the other designers went on to do something else as well. I don't remember what they did. I'm trying to find it in the article if they mention it at all. But yeah, I mean that game was really good by all, stories about it. So
I'm just surprised Nintendo just doesn't offer them jobs. Just hey.
Right?
I just don't get it. I get they have a capacity of how many employees, but they could totally make a huge indie Nintendo section.
They could do what Square does, right? Where an indie team pitches them a game, and if they like it, they license out the license and make something, and then through like QA and if they put a producer on the game and they like what they see, they can do it, and if not, they can. I
feel like
in funding if they don't like it, but
they make this game and they're not doing it for money. Basically, it's a resume of sorts. So. Here you go. Someone passionate.
Yeah.
Hire them.
Yeah.
I think they would if they had a original property and they had some kind of experience instead of using Nintendo stuff to make it and everything. I think Nintendo is impressed that people can make games and they have that Nintendo quality. But I feel like Nintendo may be like, we want you guys to be original and not use our IP because that may cause some problems.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know I get like protecting your IP and stuff, and a lot of people blame Nintendo for that. But in all honesty, the other companies do that too. It's just not as prevalent as Nintendo, because Nintendo's such a dominant company and they're very public about it. But Xbox has done that to people too. It's funny because when Xbox does it, like Phil Spencer comes out and said, yeah, it looks awesome, but as a company we have to protect our IP, and it's not a good feeling, but it's something we have to do, whereas Nintendo's just like comes out and says, take it down. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's like the Wii commercials where the two Japanese guys show up at your doorstep and we would like to play. But instead, when they open the briefcase, instead of the Wii remote, it's like a cease and desist order.
Yeah.
We would like to take your game down. Anyways, our next story is for Ed specifically.
Yes.
Treasure, this Liam Doolin over at Nintendo Life wrote up the story. Treasure's the developer behind Gunstar Heroes, Sin and Punishment, Ikaruga, and several other classic video games, is rumored to be working on a, quote, highly requested title in a beloved series. In a roughly translated tweet, Treasure states, quote, on June 19th, 2022, Treasure Co. Limited celebrated its 30th anniversary. This year, the 30th anniversary, we are working hard to announce the highly requested, quote, that title. We look forward to your continued support of Treasure. Ikaruga received a current release back in 2018, while Sin and Punishment and other Treasure games are available on Nintendo Switch Online and Expansion Pack. What could they be working on, Ed?
So it's a possibility they could be working on Mischief Maker. They could be working on Sin and Punishment 3, a follow-up to Ikaruga. Guardian Heroes could also be getting a sequel for Switch. The Wario game that they made, I think it was a Wario game for GameCube that they made.
Wario World.
Wario World. They could be making that.
Oh boy, man, that game was rough. Like, it was just like this weird 2D platformer where you had to collect coins, but like not the way that Mario does it. It was just strange.
Exactly. They could be making a sequel to Ikaruga, but that may be a successor because Radiant Silvergun, which was a game that was on the Sega Saturn, Ikaruga was kind of the successor to that game, so there could be a follow-up to that. So, but that game probably is going to be Guardian Heroes, or it could be Ikaruga because that is mostly on all platforms: Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. And Ikaruga, when it first came out, I believe here in America, it was on the GameCube, and Atari published that game. That was very weird. And it's been a cult classic for a long time with a lot of players. So that may be the one, but like I have a feeling this is maybe Sin and Punishment 3, or Guardian Gunstar Heroes, or it could be Guardian Heroes. I know they did a Game Boy Advance sequel to Gunstar Heroes and Guardian Heroes, but I think they could be doing like something really fresh and new. For one of their games. Go ahead.
If they don't bring, either one or two to the Nintendo Online, do you think they'll do a remaster of those two?
Because it's a sequel, I don't think they would do a remaster because Guardian Sin and Punishment is on Nintendo Online, and if they decide to re-release Sin and Punishment 2, Nintendo will be publishing that one because they published that. They exclusively pay for that. The best thing I could think of if Treasure is going with someone like Nicholas, maybe we could see something if Nintendo allows them to do that. But other than that, if they are working with anybody, they're going to work with Nintendo because Nintendo funded a lot of their projects after Sega went third party. So it could be up to anything. So, but that that game, I'm hoping it's Mischief Makers. I really am hoping that, because that's a game that a lot of people play, but a lot of people talk about who were in the N64 era when it comes to Treasure games.
Okay.
Great. Shall we move on to the final sad story of the day?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so this comes directly from Nintendo's Twitter account. Nintendo has finally announced a date for their next Direct, though it's not the one many fans were hoping for. A roughly 20-minute presentation detailing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will take place on Wednesday, June 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. We'll be covering that on a Direct recap show, so you can stay tuned for that discussion. But yeah, I mean, that's tough,
Let me make this very clear.
Uh-oh.
I am happy that this has happened. Like, I'm so glad.
I don't think you are.
No, I am. I'm getting to the butt. I'm getting to the butt here, all right? I'm glad this is happening. I'm not poo-pooing on it. It's just... And I know game-specific directs happen, but you cannot tell me that Nintendo was very aware that many fans are kind of sort of expecting just a generalized Direct because it's an E3 time of year. Sony, Microsoft, everyone had their thing. Like, Nintendo does that. I feel like Nintendo kind of does, is a little bit petty in that way. Some might argue that they're not, but remember whatever Nintendo Direct where we were still waiting for Breath of the Wild 2 information. And then they opened the showcase with Ganondorf and someone carrying Ganondorf to the edge of a cliff. And but it was only Ryu introduced to Smash. And don't tell me out of any character they could have used to throw off that cliff and kick off the Direct.
Oh, you mean from Tekken? Kazuma.
Tekken, what'd I say?
You said Ryu.
Ryu. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm so in my element. Thank you for correcting me. But the point is, they chose out of all the characters, Ganondorf, just to because they know it'll just get us riled up. And anyway, my point is just I'm glad it's they're doing a Xenoblade 3 Direct, but I feel like Nintendo kind of knew fans were looking for a generalized Direct.
But then you got to think about it. This is great news because now they don't have to worry about Xenoblade Chronicles in the Direct.
Yeah.
Now it's time because now it's time to be like, okay, if that's taken out, what is filling it? If Breath of the Wild has been moved, okay, that's not going to be in a Nintendo Direct. So now it's going to be, we'll have something about maybe on Splatoon 3. But now there's a possibility Pikmin 4. Possibility for Metro Prime 4 to be highlighted or the ending game. Bayonetta 3 could be coming. They have a chance now to really, we got the big Metro stuff out because that's announced and ready to go. Let's give them a new Pikmin thing. In fact, we got the exclusive on Dragon Quest 12. Let's give them a little look at that.
That's not true because they already announced it was a timed exclusive for PlayStation. So. Oh,
they did?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, they may have, I don't know. They may be a Dragon Quest.
We got 13 before 12.
Yeah, 10 offline.
10 offline. But
a real game, by the way.
It is true. Nintendo now has the possibility to be since we don't have to worry about Xenoblade, we now could put in anything that none of y'all will believe. That's part of the Persona collection. Who knows? They may do the next Fire Emblem. We might get our pirate game.
So I didn't put this in the news, but there was a rumor that Emily Rogers put out, noted Nintendo leaker, that a Fire Emblem game is done and ready to go. Yes. And I'm really and I think Nintendo Everything put out an article about it and showed some pre-alpha screenshots that were leaked or whatever, and kind of looks like Three Houses, but I would love it if we got a new proper Fire Emblem this year. I don't get me wrong, three hopes, people are pointing at that, but the last time Fire Emblem came out, they put out 2 Fire Emblem games, right? They put out Shadows of Valencia on 3DS, and then they put out the first Fire Emblem Warriors on Switch, and that was awesome, sort of, minus the Warriors part, but we got a lot of Fire Emblem that year. And then we got Three Houses and then the phone game, and then Fire Emblem just kind of stopped. I would love a new proper Fire Emblem. I hope it's the pirate one that has been rumored since Shadows of Valencia, but I will take what I can get from Fire Emblem. But I didn't put that in the news. Maybe that could totally show up in a spot.
Yeah,
she's pretty legit, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and literally think about it, Stephanie. What if Nintendo was just and the next thing you see Stray on Switch coming later this year?
Hey, I'm all for it. It's just I don't know when the next Direct is, and I'm just gonna not think about it.
There is a lot of possibilities of stuff coming. Maybe we see more of the Turtle Collection. I think it's been dated for December. I don't know if that's actual true or not.
No, I think that's just a placeholder date right now.
Placeholder. I think we could be seeing some new dates coming. Some actual releases, what they're going to be doing for the fall holiday before they go into winter. Maybe Pokemon get a little spot and we see LeChunk in action, and maybe get a little we'll get a sizzle reel or something. I think we are at a point with the next Nintendo Direct. What the heck are you going to do? And do I need to have some clean clothes behind me because I might use the bathroom on myself if this
I don't
announcement happened.
need to hear that on this show. No,
There's
okay,
diapers
so
for that.
yeah. So what we were kind of talking about in our group chat was like Xenoblade Chronicles, as much as, you know, a lot of people love Xenoblade, it's not as popular, I think, as people want it to be. And I don't think Nintendo wants it to get lost in the shuffle. And by putting it in a prominent direct by itself is going to give it a lot more spotlight than just shoving it in a 40-minute direct, right? And so I think this is actually a good thing for Xenoblade, because I really want that game to succeed. You know, I'm still struggling my way through the first one. Not struggling. That sounds like a bad term, but you know, like that game's so big.
Forcing myself to play it.
You know, but like I think moving that out of the way and putting it out by itself leaves a lot of room, like Ed said, for something new and exciting. You have to think of the things that are rumored right now, right? Metroid Prime 1 remake, Fire Emblem, that Donkey Kong game that supposedly the Mario Odyssey team is working on. There's a lot of things they could fill that spot with as like a one more thing. I don't think Zelda's going to be there in any major capacity unless they're like, hey, our one of our major games this fall is Wind Waker or Twilight Princess to Switch, right? Like, I could see that happening. Not going to take a lot of time. So my guess would be like, hey, you know, we're still on track for 2023 for Breath of the Wild 2. Here's Link shoving himself through a rock and, you know, the Master Sword melting again. And here's 0.3 seconds of new footage that everybody's going to dissect and try to tell a story out of.
Right.
But then,
with Zelda, everybody just wants to know what is the name of the title.
So, you know, I think that type of Breath of the Wild footage would lead into an actual Zelda announcement, because when Furukawa took over and the Switch came out, he said, I want something Zelda related out every year. I want it to be as prevalent on the Switch as Mario is. And I mean, every year since the Switch until this year, we've had something Zelda, right? So Breath of the Wild, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, Link's Awakening, Age of Calamity, and Skyward Sword.
Hyrule.
Sword.
Yeah. And this is the first year we haven't had anything. So totally see a Zelda port come out this year. I would welcome it, actually. I would prefer Twilight Princess over Wind Waker. I know I'm in the way minority of that.
We did have Majora's Mask release it online, so I don't know if that would count.
That doesn't count.
Does it? I don't know.
No.
I haven't beat it yet, so
You're missing out on a good time. Top tier
That's the
Zelda.
only Zelda I haven't played yet.
Top tier Zelda.
So.
Top tier. You're gonna be like,
I believe
Ocarina,
you,
what?
I just can't get past the time.
Thank you.
So.
Right.
To be honest, the 3DS version is probably the better way to play that, because you can like circumvent the time mechanics. You can kind of slow it down to your liking, or speed it up, or move.
So I do own it for my 3DS, but I have the original, which does not have the nub, and I cannot turn the camera. It is like horrendous to play. So I want to buy another one, a new one, but they're getting expensive.
Yeah.
So
I know. I thought about buying another, just the new 2DS, just to put back for whatever reason, but they're too expensive now, and I just when am I ever, like, my 3DS has been plugged in over here for, I got it back out to place to try something, and then it needed an update, and then downloaded the update, and then I never returned to it. But I think that Nintendo has one more big thing that's coming out this year, and they're saving it for this next big direct, whether it's at the end of June, early July. I really think they have one more thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, Pokemon could be their big game, and they don't need anything else for the fall, right? And they can kind of position games around it, right? Like Splatoon's in September, and Bayonetta could probably be October or December or whatever, right? That's a great lineup for them, but I think they want one more thing, especially because PlayStation and Xbox really don't have a lot, if anything, So.
And finally, we'll get Advance Wars dated.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for that too.
Yeah. Plus Mario and Rabbids also.
Yeah. There's so many games.
I bet Mario Rabbids gets pushed because we haven't really seen anything.
I heard nothing. Yeah.
Plus, like, Ubisoft is going through this weird transition of power thing where they're trying to sell and they're trying to position everything to be, ready to sell.
They're trying to go up like 15 or 16 points on their stock to sell or something like that.
Yeah.
To look good.
Yeah. So we'll see. But anyways, that's all the news we have for this week. Again, really scraping the bottom of the barrel this week because turns out no direct and all the events already happened. There's nothing to talk about. So
yeah.
But knowing Nintendo, they like to be sneaky. So probably right after this episode.
No, they're gonna drop a big announcement like, hey, guess what? Wednesday's Xenoblade, but Thursday's the big direct. I'm really upset.
And then I would be like, Corey, let's get on the mic.
Yeah.
They probably have something where you have to pre-order like 2 million copies of a Xenoblade 3 and they'll drop a direct or something.
Oh, gosh. I think they already got that. Plus,
see, I don't know, though. Do they? Xenoblade is, like... I love Xenoblade. I think it's a great franchise for Nintendo, and I know they've been trying to position it as, like, one of their kind of current major players. But, like, is it popular? Like, is it popular? That's the question.
That was the thing that I talked about when they were saying they were doing like multiple projects. Like, I didn't think Xenoblade 3 would be announced before their new project. I thought their new project they would announce first and then Xenoblade 3 because it kind of felt like there's no way they're working on it, because I was thinking at the time they was working to focus on a new project while also helping the Zelda team. Yeah. So Xenoblade 3 was going to fall back, but Corey, you and Dan, you guys told me that no, Xenoblade is popular. And so when it got announced, you guys were just like, see, we told you.
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to like I said, it's popular because Nintendo fans will buy anything, but is it a popular franchise is the problem. So like I'm looking at this, I'm looking it up, and this is just a very quick Google search, right? The Xenoblade Chronicles series, which includes 6 games at this point, has sold 6 million units. So that's the Wii version of 1, the 3DS version of 1, the Switch version of 1, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torn of the Golden Country, and Xenoblade Chronicles X, right?
Yes.
So and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has sold as of 2021, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has sold 2.17 million units. So I mean, yeah, it's popular. It's doing well, but like when you look at all the other games that on Switch that are selling, right? I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm not concerned. I'm just wondering if Nintendo is trying to position this, and they're doing a great job of making it seem popular. I'm just wondering like how many people have really sat down and played Xenoblade, but
so.
I think because Switch has been popular and games on it from Nintendo has become popular. I don't think people, they had a hard time getting Xenoblade even to come to Wii. But they seen all the pre-sales that went out and that did numbers. So when they did the new 3DS, it was just like maybe now without a petition we could put this game out. But people had. They were just like, we don't want to play it on the system. I think
that
Xenoblade
version was really bad also. Like,
right.
Yeah.
But I think with the low sales of the Wii U, people just didn't pay attention to Xenoblade Chronicles X because they weren't. It was a different time.
And they should have. It's the best one.
Right.
So I bought.
Oh.
I was gonna say I bought Xenoblade for the Wii. Never opened it. Bought Xenoblade X for the Wii U. Never opened it. Bought Xenoblade 2. Opened it. Played it. So I won't be buying 3.
Well,
Just put it that way.
I think the
But
thing of
if I had kept buying them and not playing them, it would have been like for me, like Assassin's Creed. I keep buying the games but never play them. So.
And I think Xenoblade 2 is when people started getting into the series and learning the mechanics and getting into the story and realizing what kind of this game is about. You know, because really no one was into Xenogears when it first came on PS1. No one was into was it Xenogear? It was Xeno something for PS2.
Xenosaga.
Where they had it. Xenosaga. Really, no one was into that one because they were more like movies. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is probably the leading one to get people into it because Switch became popular. And still, all these JRPGs that was hitting Switch, you know, people were just like, yeah, I'm getting into it. Don't forget, Persona 5 wouldn't be popular without Persona 3 because nobody was playing the Persona series at all.
Well, I would argue Persona 4 Golden is kind of what put Persona into the mainstream, right? And then everybody was like, oh, well, this one's great, but it's on Vita. How do we go back and play them, you know? And so.
Yep.
You know, so I think with some JRPGs, I think there's a certain type of game, a certain title that that people get into it. We were speaking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. That happened to Final Fantasy VII, even though Final Fantasy III was out, and people considered that to be one of the best games made in the Final Fantasy series. But Final Fantasy VII changed all of that during the PS1, and people have been into that series ever since.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I hope Xenoblade does well. I'm definitely getting it. What were you gonna say, Shane? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm happy for people that enjoy that game. So, I guess I should try it again, but it's for me to spend time on that. It takes a long time to actually figure it out, and it's one of those where you stop playing for a week. Yeah. Don't know what the heck's going on.
Yep.
Back on it.
Yeah.
So
they're commitment games, right? I watched this whole video on Nintendo Life's YouTube channel today about commitment games, and they were talking about
that video.
They were talking about The Witcher and Xenoblade and all these games that take hundreds of hours to play through, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a commitment. You got to be committed, and if you're not, you're just gonna, games are so big, they're intimidating, right? And that's why
you got to get hooked in the first hour or two of the game to keep going. And not to say that Xenoblade 2 didn't do that. It just, as more things are added, sometimes it just gets too muddled and hard to follow, especially if you wait a week and come back. So
I mean, that's the news. Sorry, kind of did a mini doc mode, but Ed, back to you.
Yes, everybody, it's time for Doc Mode. As we are one episode away from the Big 300, I thought we would talk about some third-party and indie games we played over the years on Nintendo platforms that help make the consoles and handhelds, worth owning or creating personal memories for us. What made them special? What do you recommend? Do we wish some eras had some of these games? Last but not least, what do we think of the support going forward? So everybody, Elite Block Agents, you ready? Let's go! So, we're talking about third-party games and indie games on Nintendo platform. Where should we start?
Well, I mean, I guess, so when the third-party thing really hits home for me specifically when we started the show, Ed, when Wii U was the I would say the popular console at the time, but let's face it, it wasn't. But I played every single third-party game that came out on that thing, right? I played Assassin's Creed 3 there. I played all of the Ubisoft games that came out, right? Like Watch Dogs and Splinter Cell and the Assassin's Creed games and Rayman and I played Black Ops 2 on the Wii U. I played NBA 2K on the Wii U. I played everything on the Wii U. And a lot of it is because like I love that console, but a lot of it was because we were trying to cover it for this show, and
Yeah.
you know, it had a lot of that console. Like the first year and a half had a great third party support. You know, Darksiders.
Yes.
I played
Yeah.
Darksiders 2 on that thing. I played a ton of stuff on the Wii U, and it was awesome. It was fun until it wasn't. Right when you get something like Watch Dogs, which was, you know, not the best way to play that game. And when it's running better on an Xbox 360 than it is on the Wii U, it's probably, you know, but like another game that comes to mind is Mass Effect 3, right? And I still argue, aside from the fact that the first two games aren't on the console, even though the week before Mass Effect 3 came out for $60 on the Wii U, the entire trilogy came out on Xbox 360 and PS3 two weeks beforehand for $50. And, you know, I still think Mass Effect 3, the best way to play it is on the Wii U, because you can kind of command your party at will. You can kind of draw flanking lines, right, for your party members. You can control their powers. You can kind of manipulate the way the game works on the gamepad, which was awesome at the time. You know, it was never seen anything like it, you know. And then Microsoft put out the smart glass stuff on iPad, and PlayStation tried their second screen experience, and then nobody wanted a second screen anymore. And then the Wii U tablet just became a big map.
Yep.
But yeah, third-party games specifically come to mind for Wii U. A lot of third-party games were played on the Wii U for me, and even Switch to an extent now, right? And The Witcher, Assassin's Creed 4, and Rogue, right? There's I played a little bit of Borderlands on the Switch, which was an interesting kind of thing. I played Doom and Wolfenstein on the Switch. Like, there's a lot of third-party support on the last two Nintendo consoles that I've had fond memories of.
I know for me, like, with like fond memories with third party, definitely starts with Nintendo on the NES. You know, playing Contra, playing Double Dragon, playing Mega Man, but then playing games like, you know, Double Dribble, Tecmo Bowl. But I played stuff like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, Back to the Future, The Goonies. I, you know, playing some of that, RoboCop. Like, I was even playing some licensed games that some were good, some weren't. But I just remember like a lot of third-party support on the NES that helped start these companies off. Definitely Tecmo, Konami, and Capcom. Those were the big ones that everybody still knows today. Square was starting out, but I think Square Soft at the time really came into being well known once, and even Enix, once Super Nintendo came out, because not really many people knew about Dragon Quest, because at the time it was Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy. But when they hit the Super Nintendo, man, the third party stuff blew up. And that's when we started getting Chrono Trigger, and we got Secret of Mana, ActRaiser. You know, we was getting all of those games, and definitely with the music for those. Like, a lot of people just realized that so much third-party stuff that had came out. And then, you know, we had the Game Boy and the DS later on. I know one of the big ones definitely for me was GameCube, because I had Tales of Symphonia. I had Medal of Honor Frontline. You know, just a Beautiful Joe was on there. Like, I had a lot of his Resident Evil 4, like a game that really put over the shoulder action games as its own genre. You know, to me personally, that started on the GameCube before it went to everything else. And look at it now. You know, and Corey, you mentioned like some great games for Wii U. Well, it's just.
Sorry, just to go back to the GameCube, right? Like I played all of my sports games there, like Madden NCAA football. I played a lot of NBA Live, SSX, Tony Hawk. Like,
Oh yeah.
you name those classic sports games, I've played it there. You know, and the GameCube had a lot of, like you said, a lot of great RPG support too. Like, you know, Shane, I think we had a conversation at one point about Bat and Kato's.
Oh yeah. Both of those games were great.
Yeah. Which
they had a lot of good RPGs on GameCube.
Yeah. Which
Shoot,
I wish Monolith would return to those, or at least port those games over.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you know, I thought Nintendo, when they bought them outright, they got those games, but you said that they might not have.
So, from what I read, was they had to still talk to
Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco for certain rights within the game, and they had asked to make a third one, and it didn't pan out. So, I don't know what those rights are. I don't know how much they own versus how much Nintendo may own, or Monolith.
I wonder if it's like a GoldenEye situation now, where like
it might be,
where like Nintendo technically owns Bat and Kaitos, but Bandai Namco owns the publishing rights to the first two games, and so they would have to work out some sort of deal.
Yeah.
Which I think would be easy because of Nintendo working with Bandai Namco, like with Smash and even Soul Calibur on GameCube, putting this like link in there. Like, I think they have such a good relationship that something could be coming. We may see that's something that we could see in the game.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Soul Calibur 2 as well. They should do something again with a Nintendo character.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would love to see like some sort of fighting game make it over with Nintendo characters.
From someone from Xenoblade would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
When I think third party, I go back to N64, specifically the Rare games. I just that hits home. I mean, it's obviously nostalgia had a lot to do with it, but I mean, if you think about it, they're pretty popular and highly coveted, right? We got Banjo-Kazooie, Jet Force Gemini, Perfect Dark, I think also was Rare, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's kind of what I think of, and I think those are really great games.
Yeah. I was gonna say Conker's Bad Fur Day. I never played through, but I played Conker's Pocket Tales on the Game Boy Color, which is kind of weird because it's not adult. It's not an adult game. It's a collectathon, and it's a lot different.
Yeah, well,
so that's the Conker I know.
Yeah, well, Conker, before the game that got approved by Nintendo was 12 Tales Conker's Quest, which was basically another collectathon. Yeah. And then they were like, well, we don't want to get lost with Mario, Banjo, Donkey Kong, and every other collectathon platformer that was out at the time. So they're like, let's do something really different and really crude.
Yeah.
And, you know, they obviously put out Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is hilarious. I wish, like, I kind of wish Microsoft would revisit that, although, like, I don't know how much that game would change because of, like, political correctness and all this other stuff. You know, just not saying that that's good or bad. I just think that game would be totally different in terms of today's landscape, and I don't know. But
to look at indie games, Alien Hominid on GameCube, like, that was from the Behemoth, which that was used to be a Flash game. Then you look at WiiWare, Cave Story was another Flash game, but then it got full out, and just look how that's been going on. Like, that's kind of about being hit on every console. But like WiiWare had some big stuff. Contra Rebirth, Castlevania Rebirth, Gradius Rebirth. Like, they had some good games on WiiWare that were indie. And now we got like you know, well, not Shredder's Revenge or something, but we got games like Gree that's out, and Rhyme, Firewatch. Like, we got so many indie games that's on Switch that it amazes me that the indie scenes that started out on Xbox 360 has kind of transferred to being a big time on Nintendo's console.
Oh yeah.
So what's interesting is you said Xbox 360. I got the Xbox 360 later on, and the only reason I got an Xbox 360 is because I played Plants vs Zombies at a friend's house, liked it so much that me and my wife said, let's go get an Xbox 360. So we went and bought it. And of course, Plants vs Zombie came out in every single console and platform shortly after that. But got to play, Halo and all, and Gears of War and stuff. So I was on PS3, so I got to play, Journey, Flow, Flower, those three games right there from that indie company that gaming company was amazing. And then that pretty much prompted me to play more indie. And another series was Death Spank, Thongs of Virtue, and The Baconing. Those three were amazing, and they should come to another console. But then, yeah, that translated to all my favorite indie games that I started playing. The Firewatch, big example. The big one I like on Switch is Golf Story. Golf Story, is just like Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color, just without Wario Woods, and it is awesome. And I can't wait for Sports Story, which still hasn't been announced for almost 2 years now since the first was shown. So, but yeah, I think Switch has a very, very healthy indie scene, but also you have to find the good foods amongst the crap that's out there. So,
agree.
Yeah. I mean, indie games too. Like the first major indie game I played, like I played a few indie games. I'm still not a big indie game person. I try, but it really takes something spectacular to grab me in the indie scene. And I remember when Shovel Knight came out, and that was something really cool, really unique. It played well. It was just that special game at the right time, right? And they chose Nintendo as their primary platform for 2 years. The Wii U and 3DS were the platforms they wanted it on, which was, at the time when the Wii U was kind of dying, and that was kind of not heard of at the time, but and they still have that 2-player mode. If you scan the amiibo in, you get the 2-player mode with the green Shovel Knight. I think that game did a lot for me in terms of how I thought about non-AAA games, to the point where like I still try to play some indie games even if I know I may not be into it, which we'll get into in Playing with Power, because I'm actually playing one that is really grabbing me and I'm happy that I started playing it. But N++ N+ at the time was another one. That game is a hard-nosed, hardcore platformer that I think everybody should try out. The sequel is on Switch. N++, it's really hard, but I highly recommend it. Although I wish you could change the controls in that game, because those controls really bother me on the Switch. But it's all right. I had to create a specific profile for that game. You know how you can like switch controls in a specific profile? I had to switch them just to play that game, but nonetheless, it's one of the best platformers out there. And obviously we talk about a lot about like Death's Door and Tunic. It's not on Switch yet, but those are like the big ones right now.
Cuphead was the big one on Switch.
I was gonna say Cuphead
in Oregon
and Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, yep.
Yeah. Undertale is still a big one.
Undertale, I think that's the most sold indie is Undertale besides Minecraft.
Yeah.
And Hollow Knight,
I know a lot of people like Hollow Knight. Axiom Verge is another big one that I fell in love with. Hyper Light Drifter, another one that I really loved. So
Untitled Goose Game was a
Yep.
Oh, that was a
treat.
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer to indie games. I'm pretty sure Untitled Goose Game was my first indie game that I played.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the third party support, like people were expecting big triple A, games from EA and Activision, at definitely during the um like Wii U era, you know, they weren't getting that big support, but it it was kind of like interesting to see that there were games on that platform from third party and from indie games that really make you look at gaming different. I always had um that not discussion. My opinion was that it's funny that a lot of AAA games that came out during the 360 and PlayStation era was so huge. Sometimes that may be the only game that come out, and if it doesn't sell a certain amount, that studio has the possibility of being closed. EA was doing it a lot, and it was just like you have a high profile title out. Why are you closing the studio and stuff? And one of the fears for a lot of AAA third party groups was just like, "Ew, this game won't sell on the console." Well, the consumers are telling you it's not. We're not buying it on the Nintendo platform, not because it's late, but there's content missing from the game, and that was a really big problem at that time.
Well, I mean, a lot of that problem though too was like Nintendo's online infrastructure was not great, and you could argue it's still not, great. I mean, they've gotten a lot better since the Wii and the Wii U, but I mean, remember with the Wii, you had to send in your SD card to get games fixed, like the game breaking bug in Other M and Skyward Sword. Like you had to send literally your memory unit in, if you had one, to get the patch from Nintendo, and they would mail it back to you. That's absurd. Yeah. And the Wii U was a little bit better, but like they like the limited hard drive space and you could only put a 32 gig SD card in, and that limited the space. And so, like,
for the Wii,
no, for the Wii U.
So
because the Wii U had an external hard drive, though.
I know, you could put an external hard drive on it. Yeah.
You had to buy one and plug one in, and we were still
Which
at
I still
a point.
have on mine.
Yeah.
I transferred all my stuff from Wii, and within 12 hours of doing that, my Wii U bricked, and I had to send it in.
Yeah.
So,
oh no.
Yeah. So I had to wait 10 days to get it back.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was saved on there. So.
Yeah. So to that point, right? Like, it was really difficult for companies to, hey, this console has barely sold 10 million units. Mm-hmm. Third-party games don't run as well, and there's no memory. So why would we put this, 10 gig download of DLC on a console that might sell, if the game sold, 200,000 copies, you think maybe 25% of those people will buy the DLC, and why would they? That's just not worth it to them in multiple facets. So it's nice to see that the Switch is not only popular, but DLC is coming. Right? We saw the Doom Eternal DLC drop for Switch, which was something I didn't think was going to happen because the Wolfenstein 2 DLC didn't come out, and I was actually kind of surprised because I would have actually played it. But the Doom Eternal DLC on Switch is awesome to see, and I hope that they do more with that in the future. I really do.
I think at that point it was, like I said, expectations at that time.
I think we have altered expectations because it's Nintendo, but I don't think we should. I think we should try to start treating Nintendo like the other consoles. And
that's why I said in that era during Wii U.
Yeah,
that was that expectation. Mm-hmm. Now, because of Switch being successful, the expectation has changed and everything. Even though there are still games that when the Switch version gets released, the Switch still gets it last before anybody else instead of doing it all at one time.
That's true. And, I know a lot of people are kind of upset that Persona wasn't announced for Switch, but those games are being... Nintendo wants to announce those versions in a direct because it's going to make a big splash. It's going to be another marketing beat for not only Nintendo, but Atlas, and those games will sell like hotcakes on the Switch, right? Those games
Yeah.
Those games are going to sell millions of copies on the Switch. Millions.
Oh yeah,
I bet if Persona 5 Royale came out on Switch, it would sell more than Xenoblade and Bayonetta combined.
Yeah, well, it's the voice has been known. It's been out. I think it definitely. If you look at, and we're gonna get back into this question, everybody. If you just look at how when they got announced for Xbox, Microsoft probably were thinking that, oh, we're going to get a big hit that everybody's going to be talking about. We got the Persona games on our system, so that's going to get people talking. And it really felt like, oh, this game's coming out for Xbox. Okay, what else you got to show? Like, it didn't get no kind of hype or love for that.
I think it did. I think Persona totally got huge hype on Xbox because it's coming to Game Pass day one. That's huge.
Well,
that is a huge win for Microsoft. And
oh yes, but I was literally expecting that the reaction to be like bigger. But the reaction came to be like,
what are you talking about? That reaction was humongous.
I think we may have been following different people, but the reaction
must be because that reaction that Persona is coming to Xbox. That's all I saw for like 2 weeks.
I haven't. All the reactions that I seen was just like, I can't wait for these 3 games to hit Switch, and that was even coming from some of the people who are in the Xbox community. So that's why it was just weird because I thought that would be the biggest talking point out of the Xbox conference that was happening, and it just fell on deaf ears. Well, I want to ask you guys, what do you recommend for third party, or indie games? What games do you think people should look out for and try on any Nintendo console, any handheld, whatever? Stephanie, I'm gonna go with you. Give us 2 games.
Oh my goodness! And now I'm blanking out. Can you come back to me?
Nope.
Okay.
You gotta go now.
No.
Just kidding.
No.
Shane, what 2 games out of all the Nintendo consoles would you recommend?
Oh man. Like I said, I'm pretty big into indie, so I really liked Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King.
Mm-hmm. That second one's coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I'm trying to think. There was a game I played. It's like Endless Ocean. I'm trying to think what it's called. It's like
Subnautica?
No. Let me look it up here.
Indie games cool.
While he's looking up that, I just wanted to make sure because I have a physical copy of one of the games, but it's not for Switch, but it is available on Switch. I recommend Celeste and What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah,
those are both good. I just thought of it. It's Beyond Blue.
Beyond.
It is excellent. At least for me, it was an excellent game. So I played it on the PlayStation 4, but I know it is on Switch now. So
cool.
What about you, Corey?
I mean, I know everybody in the world has played Shovel Knight already, but if you haven't, Shovel Knight, but specifically the Spectre Knight campaign, is one of the best platformers I've ever played, period. I would argue that the Spectre Knight DLC is up there with classic Mario games in terms of platforming.
Wow.
The way the character moves, fights, it's just a wonderful game, and everybody should play it. Even if you are not a quote-unquote fan of platformers, if you like classic Castlevania, even, like, there's some of that in there. Just, it's so cool, and the story is so, like, Spectre Knight is this big scary kind of enemy in the original Shovel Knight campaign, but this story kind of makes you sympathetic to why he is how he is in Shovel Knight, and it's kind of like an Anakin Skywalker story where, like, he thinks he's doing the right thing, but he's really not, and then it consumes him. It's really a special campaign. It's not very long. I think it only took me like 2 or 3 hours to play through, but it's just a wonderful game. You can buy it that campaign specifically is $10, or you can buy the entire package, I think, for $30, and you get all the campaigns, which, the Plague Knight DLC is not wonderful. The King Knight DLC is okay, but the Spectre Knight and the Shovel Knight campaigns are awesome, and there's a really cool like Smash Light mode in there, a multiplayer mode that you can play through. It's really cool. So that's one, I guess. The second one, I would say, I would actually say if you travel a lot and you're looking for a game that's going to consume a lot of time, I would say The Witcher is it's a wonderful port of that game. It's a huge game, and I think that that Saber did a great job of porting it over. Yeah, it's not as pretty. Yeah, it doesn't run as well, and I know the Series X and PlayStation 5 are getting native versions later this year that'll run it, 60 frames with ray tracing and 4K and updated textures and yada yada yada, whatever. But I know a lot of people listen to this show that travel a lot and don't have a lot of time to game other than mobile gaming or their Switch or whatever, and that is a great port that I think if you want a big sprawling RPG, that's one to look into.
That's good to know. I own it on PS4, but I have not opened it yet because I played the second one. I didn't care for it. Yeah. So if they have it a free upgrade for PS5, I might pop it in. And
it's a free upgrade, and the mechanics in 3 are way different than 2.
Okay. Good, because
I know 2's story is awesome, but the gameplay is different.
Like the beginning was just like training for a while, and again, you learn all these things over a course of an hour. You leave, and you come back, and you have no idea what to push. So
the thing about The Witcher also is, like, I think that training area is because it's an open world game. You can go back to the training area and practice anything you want, and redo the tutorials anytime you want.
Yep.
So we were kind of talking about the games that if you leave for a week and come back, you forget what you're doing. The Witcher is totally one of those games, but you can always go back to the training spot and catch up, and So.
Okay. For me, it's definitely Tetris Effect Connect.
Okay, Tetris doesn't count. Everybody knows Tetris is the best game ever made. By the way, did you see the BS that they're pulling with the limited run thing where every version comes with a different piece?
No.
Stephanie, you sent me that, and it made me cry.
Sorry. I just immediately knee-jerk reaction, oh, there's a physical, so send it to Corey. And then I was thinking of buying it, and I looked into it, I'm like, mother beep.
the $100 version comes with this giant Tetris piece and the soundtrack and a physical version of the game, but every version comes with a different piece.
Oh no.
And it made me cry. And of course the Switch version has the worst piece. It has the Z.
Oh. Well, if it's not
the screw attack, I call it.
Shout out to Jack and his Tetris shelving, because I want those really bad.
Yeah. Well, if I can't do Tetris Effect, definitely Voice of Cards. The Dragon, out of the Dragon Worlds. That game is not only funny, it's about a 10-hour experience. And who thought that playing a role-playing game with cards, the way that system is used, would work? I'm like, it's so easy to get to, and it's so fun. Great story. There's different endings to it that you could experience. And the highest level that you get to is 30. So pretty much if you could do a little bit of grinding if you feel like it, but by the time you get to the end of the game, your whole party will reach the highest level. And it's such a fun game. I have a review on it on Boss Rush that you guys could check out. And my second game would be Phoenix Wright the Ace Attorney, a trilogy. These are a collection that's kind of like remastered in a sense with new art from the Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games. So I do recommend giving those. They're like a venture, text adventure kind of game, but they are so funny. The names are good, and it feels really good to find out who the killer is or who the criminal is, and how everything gets resolved. It is so good. I'm like, and this I think it's like only about $20, 20 or 30 some dollars. You'll be able to catch it on a good sale on Switch for it. But our last part of it, what did you guys think of the support going forward? Do you I know there's some other questions, but do you guys see the future of third party and indie support grow for Nintendo's future consoles?
I definitely see it growing. I mean, I feel like there are certain, other publishers or developers that we don't see as much support, thrown Nintendo's way. But, Nintendo, I can only imagine what it'd be like to work with them. But I just feel like little by little, relationships are improving. And I feel like they're already pretty strong on the indie front. So I can only see it improve, just maybe just slow and steady, right? That's kind of how I see that work. But I think one of the challenges is, and I could be wrong, this is where this is not my strength. I'm not a tech person. I wonder if it's just very difficult to create a game that will work on the Switch versus for PlayStation and Xbox, and the different specs. Like if they want to be very ambitious with a type of game, like there might be some technological limitations, but
yeah, I mean, for me, I think the big question is there going to be another Switch or not, or an upgrade, which I totally think there is. I think that's the worst kept secret in gaming right now is like, yeah, there's definitely a Switch Pro, but when are they going to put it out type thing? Because we all know that the OLED Switch was supposed to be that until A, COVID, B, supply constraints, and because we know that chip exists, it's been leaked. So it just depends on when that comes out. I do think we're going to get different styles of third-party support still. I want the Switch to be as powerful as the other consoles, but we know that's not happening. So, I mean, obviously the big draw for Switch is the first party and the indie games and having them portable. You can take them anywhere with you, right? And I think we're going to see growing support in that direction of older games that might run better on the Switch from the probably like the PS3, Xbox 360 era, early Xbox One, PS4 era. We'll see games like that on the Switch make their way over, which we already have. What gives me hope, though, is Hogwarts Legacy. That game is supposedly coming to the Switch, and that game during the PlayStation 5 reveal looks amazing. I hope that game does well enough for other people. We always get that one game every year of like, that shows that if you put enough time and effort into porting something, that it can fit on this console. I mean, I still point at The Witcher and be like, if that game could run on the Switch, why is Kingdom Hearts a cloud version? Why is Control a cloud version? Why is, and I know I'm not a game developer, I'm not an engineer, I don't know how all this stuff works, but like, it just boggles my mind that something like Kingdom Hearts is a cloud version, but we have this 200-hour sprawling RPG in The Witcher. It just, and you point to games like that, or Wolfenstein and Doom are also the big ones, and Borderlands, and we have all these bigger third-party games, and I know some of those are older, but man, I just get so frustrated sometimes because if Nintendo was as powerful as the other consoles, I would probably be a one console person, and it kind of sucks that obviously I want to play everything everywhere at some point, but it's just always hard to pick, which I'll get into when we get to playing with power, because I'm playing a game that clearly runs better on the Xbox, but I want to play it on Switch, so that's where I'm playing it, So yeah, but in terms of indie support, I mean, the Switch is just it's gonna just continue to get the best of the indies, right, all the time.
Best and the worst.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. It's going to stop when the Switch stops being supported. That's when the indies are going to stop. And even then, right? I mean, we saw indie games being ported to the Vita until Sony literally said, "Hey, we're pulling the dev kits offline. You can no longer upload your games to be sold on Vita."
Right.
So,
what about you, Shane?
I feel like especially between the Wii U and the Switch, Nintendo has to make a big gap between there to catch up, because they lost so much with the Wii U support wise after probably year 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you could definitely see the huge swing that the Nintendo Switch has brought with all the different companies that have brought their games to the Switch, especially mobile as well. So you're getting a storm of mobile, third party, first party, and it's thriving. Now, that last element, as Corey was saying, was a better, powerful system. You have that, you're gonna sell probably twice as much as what you got now. So I feel once they announce this new Switch or whatever comes next, Xbox and Sony will, or Xbox and PlayStation will hopefully also be a little fearful of that, but in turn that also supports better on their end for their games as well, and better development. So you keep getting that back and forth, and then everyone wins, especially the customers. So get that new Switch out, and we'll definitely, I think, have way more indies, and especially third party on there. And we're going to have, with Metroid Prime 4, I think that's going to fuel a lot of future games looking that good. We haven't seen it yet, but I have a feeling with all the people hired and the people that have been hired from these companies who have Halo and other games under their belt, it's going to look amazing, and that's where you're going to see that swing.
Yeah. I think the thing too, though, is like Nintendo is always going to be the best company that knows the Switch hardware inside and out, and they're always going to have their games optimized, whether, I mean, you look at Mario Odyssey, and it looks totally different than some of the third-party games that run on Switch, right? Because it's optimized. Nintendo clearly knows how to use the hardware. It looks amazing, running at 60 frames a second with all these textures and details, and I mean, obviously Nintendo's the master at compression and optimization, right? All the way back to, you look at Iwata reprogramming Pokemon Silver to fit the entire original games onto those cartridges, right? But I know that everybody's just buys Nintendo consoles for Nintendo games, and now obviously now for indies, but like in terms of AAA stuff, I wish it was different. I wish people bought Nintendo to play other games as well. And I know there's a select few of people that do that, right? And but it would just be nice to see Nintendo be that console too.
Yeah, I agree, and I think there's for me at least, a big split between the games I buy for Switch and the games I buy for my PlayStation 5. There's certain genres that I want to see on my PS5 versus my Switch. If Switch had that, I would totally probably just buy that. Though PS5 has some excellent games, Sony makes some excellent IPs, so does Microsoft. But when it comes down to it, it's the games and the hardware that it's played on. So
yeah. Let me ask you this, Shane. What would you give to see a Zelda game that looked as good as Horizon?
I don't know, at least 2 of my toes. I don't need them. I that I didn't play the new one yet. Which, by the way, since I have 100 articles, I think that's the one I'm going to get is Horizon as my game. So I want to play it, and it looks beautiful. I cannot wait until Nintendo's graphics look that good, and I think it's going to be at least a decade before you see something close to that, especially with their art style. Their art style is amazing, but they need to have, I hope, some kind of genre along the lines of The Last of Us or Uncharted or even Halo. Just something where it looks immersive and just story driven. And I know Nintendo isn't strong with their stories, but come on, get some more people in Nintendo's house and start making these.
Yeah, but I mean, you could make something look like as good as Horizon with. I mean, I always go back to the Zelda Wii U tech demo from 2012 where he's fighting the Goma, and I'm just like, where is this
looks
game?
Amazing.
Where is this game? I love Breath of the Wild, don't get me wrong. I love the style. I think that game is amazing in a lot of different ways. But I would trade Breath of the Wild for that art style 100%.
I agree. And that's one of the demos that lured me in to buy the Wii U in the first place. So I'm like kind of disappointed that I never got to play that. Like, at least make it a demo. I want to.
No, make it a whole game. Make it a big open world game with dungeons and temples. You can throw shrines in there. You can let me tackle it however I want. Like that style. I
will hold off. I will hold that discussion for expansion pass. Well, I think for me, for the future of Nintendo and third party, even indie games, like even with PC, I don't think it's so much about power because I think Nintendo can supply the power. I think third parties still wouldn't give it that all. I think they still would want to see how one does on their platform. So they'll put out a port or a test game on it before they feel like they want to keep supporting them more. I think because with the way that Switch is going, that a lot of stuff that's coming out for indies and even the PC versions that come to Switch have become very profitable. And for third party don't get acquired by Microsoft or Sony or anything. I think when they start seeing that a lot of their games are setting more on a Nintendo platform and just keeping them in the black, I think more developers will look at it and be like, okay, I think we should really strive harder to put out better quality and put it on Nintendo's platform. And I know people just like, well, Nintendo needs to go out and, get these developers and stuff. And I think Nintendo is going to try for their next system. I think they probably will give it the power. But I think Nintendo expect that if we give you guys the power, we expect that you give us the games. That's going to really showcase that power. Because if we give you the power and the are not competition, but the other platform holders still get those games, and it's a year or so later before we get it, giving you the power does nothing for us if you don't support us in that way. And I really want to. I think the support is going to increase. I think that certain third parties needs to be like, okay, let's not worry about sales. Let's really support the system and give it our all. Give them the full quality, just like we would do anybody else. And if the sale numbers are there, and people are showing that they're buying it on a Nintendo platform, we're going to continue to support them. I think indies and PC are going to be like, yeah, we're putting it on it because, cross saves, cross progression, cross play, like Nintendo full on went on with that, and that's kind of going to probably be a big thing in the future for some third party and indie games. So I think the support is going to be there. I think it's going to increase definitely in the social, not social error, the indie space. I think there's going to be some third party. Definitely Japan is already on board. I think there are just some other ones that need to get on board with it, because they have seen the rewards from that, from a lot of those sales. So, again, with that, everybody, that's going to be our doc mode. We're going to get into playing with power. That's my computer shit because I hit it. Stephanie, what are you playing with power?
I actually played games. The first one's no surprise because it was mentioned earlier. So I played and beat a Memoir Blue. Well, it's not a Nintendo game, but I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima on my PlayStation. But on my Switch, I am finally back into Kirby and the Forgotten Land so I can finish it.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll 100% it, though. I feel like I'll get too frustrated.
Don't worry. Just do what you can with it.
It's such a fun game. It's so beautiful on the OLED screen.
It really is. Is that all?
That's it.
Corey, what have you been playing with power?
I've actually been playing quite a lot recently. So I'm still chugging away at Super Mario 3D World. I cannot get this last level to save my life, and I refuse to use the equivalent of the P switch cheat thing. I refuse. I refuse to use it, and I cannot get this last level. It's so hard. But I am on the last level of Super Mario 3D World in trying to 100% it, 3 stars, stamps, all that stuff. But I put it down to play Ninja Turtles this weekend. That game is really interesting to play by yourself. I'm sure it's much better with friends. I've been working on the big, massive Boss Rush redesign, which I'm sure some people have seen things somewhere. We're debuting Nintendo Pow Block, obviously, next week for the 300th episode. So I know a bunch of people played on Friday night, and I couldn't do it because I was just A, working on stuff, but also B, exhausted, and it wouldn't have been fun for anybody for me to be there. So I did play it. I love it. I think it's such a callback to the 90s. Like, the overworld calls back to the original Turtles on NES. Like, the gameplay is so Turtles in Time and Hyperstone Heist. It's so much fun. The little side quests they give you also, to like the collectibles and stuff to go back and replay, to encourage you to replay, is interesting. I think the leveling system is interesting, which I think it adds a new layer to the beat 'em up style that I think was sorely needed. And April is really OP. Donatello is super slow, which I was disappointed in, but I've played a little bit of everybody, and I think I'm still playing as Leonardo right now because Casey Jones is not unlocked, because you have to beat the game to unlock him, apparently. But the game I really want to talk about, I'm also playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Destiny 2 on other platforms, but the game I really want to talk about is Death's Door. I've been playing Death's Door a lot. Yesterday when I got home, I was like really sick, and I kind of didn't feel good in the morning. I didn't really feel great at my parents, and then last night, like when we got home at like 6:30, I slept until like 9:30. Like I took like a 3-hour nap, and I woke up and I was like, my wife and I watched something, and I was like, I really just want to play something different. I want to play something new. I need a game that's not this giant game that I'm going to play forever. Mm-hmm. And so I was flipping through, and I was like, I kind of want to play Tunic, but I've heard it's kind of like whatever. I kind of want to play through that game with a guide. And then I realized, I was looking through Game Pass, and I was like, Death's Door is a game that a lot of people really loved. Let's check it out. So I started playing it, and I played for about 2 hours last night, 2.5 hours, I would say, just exploring and learning the mechanics of the game, and just kind of learning how the game works, and It's I don't want to say it's a Dark Souls game because it's not, but it definitely has that feeling of like, okay, defeat giant boss, use this. They literally call them souls to turn in to upgrade your character, that kind of thing. I liked it so much that I was like, hey, I want to play this on Switch so I can play this on the couch while I'm watching TV, even though I have a Backbone controller to play the cloud version, because I don't want to play the cloud version of something like this. It requires a lot of, dodging and quick attacks and stuff that I just feel like the cloud version wouldn't really do it justice at this point. So I today I played on Switch and I knew what I was doing, so I made it all the way past where I was on the Xbox version and got into kind of like the first major dungeon area. It's the witch's house or something. I forget what it's called. But so like that's where I'm at. I think the Xbox version is the superior version of this game, no doubt. It runs at double the frame rate. The movements are smoother, the attacks are smoother. I feel like the control inputs are actually faster on Xbox. But playing it on Switch has just been a fun experience, and I really love it. When you hear people talk about indie games and they point out specific ones and they're like, this one's amazing, and you just kind of get used to that cycle of like, oh, high profile indie game is amazing, great, and you just kind of, for me, I just kind of move on, and not being a huge indie game person, I just say, okay, well, maybe I'll check it out someday. But Death's Door is definitely something to play. I recommend it to people who like action games, maybe Zelda-esque-ish games. I don't really know if there's really a true Zelda aspect to it, but it definitely has that top-down Zelda feel at first. Definitely really fun. I'm gonna keep going. I think this is gonna be the game I stick with for a week or two and try to finish it.
It was definitely my game of 2021.
Yeah.
And that's why I did the review on it too, because I just loved it so much. So
yeah, highly recommended. Read Shane's review.
Please do.
But it's a wonderful game. I love the music. I love the aesthetic. Like the way the world is laid out. Kind of remember when Hob came out, Ed, and we talked about it a little bit. The definitive edition.
Yes.
The world kind of reminds me of that a little bit in a way. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Hob on Switch also highly recommended. If you are a Zelda fan, Hob is a game that I recommend. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Death's Door is a gem of a game.
Mm-hmm. I like that you can go around and search for alternate weapons as well, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, I found an umbrella.
Yeah, that's...
Not really sure what to do with it, but I found it, so...
There's a powerful weapon that I ended up getting, and it was worth it.
I'll have to look at it. I kind of want to play through it without a guide, but also I feel like I could get lost in this game real fast and just kind of want to get me out of here. I want to. So, anyways, I'm done now.
All right, Shane, what have you been playing with Power?
I'll go with my PS5 first because it's shorter. I've been playing Layers of Fear 2 because I really want to play Layers of Fears when that comes out. So I want to be up to date on that.
That's the remake that Bloober Team is doing, right?
I don't know if it's a remake.
Sequel.
It's a sequel, I think.
Yeah, it's the third game in the series.
Yeah.
So it's what? Layers of Fear, Layers of Fear 2, and then Layers of Fears.
Layers of Fears.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
It's the S that does it. So, yeah, and then I'm playing a little Call of Duty Vanguard. I beat Metro Exodus on PS5 as well. Excellent game. On Switch, I've been playing a party game called Heave Ho. I recommend it. So anybody, if you have at least 3 players, it's fun. Look it up. It's just this ridiculous. It's a head with some arms, and you use the joysticks to control the arms, and you use the bumpers to grasp with your hands, and you have to get across the levels as a team and get coins and other things, and then use the coins to purchase more outfits that you get to wear while you're doing this crazy antics. I'll thank my wife because she always tries to find some crazy games that we can play together. So
Nice.
good game. I've been playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. I got that. Was it the deluxe edition at GameStop for $15?
Oh,
nice.
Copy. So the only thing I would have to buy is like alternate costumes, and I think I would have to buy Rita Repulsa and 2 other Power Rangers, I believe. Otherwise, everything else is unlocked. And then the last thing, I'm playing Mario Party Superstars. My daughter got it for me for Father's Day. She asked my wife, is there one of those, is there a game with Mario and a piñata? And my wife's like, I don't think so. What about a party? Does Mario have a party? And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a few parties. So she went and found the Superstars one at GameStop. They don't have it out on the shelf. They actually keep it behind the counter. At least at ours they did, and they didn't display it. So apparently it's a hard one to get.
Oh.
So yeah, that was amazing. We played about 3 rounds yesterday. I didn't win any of them, which I should have. It's Father's Day. I should have won all of them. So
That's all about the stars.
I expect on their birthdays and on Mother's Day to win the games. So it's only fair.
It's all about them stars.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, for me, I started up Dragon's Dogma Dark Horizon on Switch. Can't wait to get into that game. I'm going to post my character, how he look on my Twitter page soon, so you guys be able to see that. Been spending time with Bayonetta, the first one. I like the second one better. Nothing is wrong with Bayonetta, the first one, but it's so earth tone. It looks so bland. And like it's been smeared with Vaseline, and like it does not look good. And I think Bayonetta 2 just pops. The combos is easier to pull off, and they actually look better. In the sense, like I love the fact that they added a lot of color and ideas to Bayonetta 2. But I'm playing this one because I never beat it. I'm playing it on normal, so I think I'm probably about like on the 5th chapter of the game, so I might be halfway through it. I beat Shredder's Revenge on the day that it came out. I beat it with Raphael, got up to the highest number, and now I'm going back playing that Splinter. I got all the collectibles unlocked, but it's the challenges that I gotta do. And trying to beat that first level without getting hit. Ooh, that's gonna take some work to get to. Hopefully.
Sorry, can I ask you how long is Shredder's Revenge?
So it is 16 levels. And if you play it straight through by yourself, it's about 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is.
I was just curious because, you know.
Yeah, it may seem like it's an hour, but I think when you're trying to. There's some stages that's like a little bit longer than 5 minutes, 5 or 7 minutes. And like some of the boss fights do take a time to get through. Like Shredder's is like his is probably about a 10-minute fight. Because he has multiple forms that you have to get through. But yeah, overall it's about good 3 hours. If you stick to your one character and you level them up and everything, it's about that time and everything. And then that's when you unlock Casey Jones and everything. And I haven't really used Casey Jones or anything. So it's just now the replay value is getting everybody else up to level, and doing like unlocking some of the challenges and stuff. There are some achievements that you could get in this game if you play with other people. So I think there's one like if you beat the game or beat a level with 5 or 6 players, you unlock something. So there are like some other challenges that you can do. It's not too hard to get into, like jumping into somebody's game or inviting somebody to the game. There's no problem. We did have some crashes though, and everything, but nothing too serious. It's not that bad. Is it Game of the Year material? If you are a Turtles fan, probably, but if you're just like a beat 'em up fan, not so much. But it's still a great game. Redone it Ikaruga because I feel like shooting stuff up, and it's definitely having that discussion about the Sega Genesis, Corey, and stuff that we talked about. That got me thinking to a lot of shoot 'em ups that I played on it. So Ikaruga like just hit my soul and it's just like, let me re-download this game and get to shooting.
Gosh, dude, if I hear Ikaruga, or if I had a nickel for every time I heard you say Ikaruga or Graceful Explosion Machine on this show, we would all be rich. We could all retire.
Or just chasing beats.
I mean,
you gotta play them, Corey. They're great games.
I played Graceful Explosion Machine when it came out, and I was like, this is an Ed game, and I turned it off.
Oh.
Not that it's a bad game, I'm just not, it's just not my type of game,
You need a little sticker online that you can say this is an Ed game, and
yes,
you can apply it to your games.
New merch, I guess.
I think that should be editorial from the writing for all of Boss Rush.
Oh gosh.
What
rank
games,
Ed's favorite games?
not rank
Ed's Yaz games.
Like what games would feel like an Ed game? Like what? Like give a top 5 that everybody would think that would be an Ed game. That'd be interesting.
That would be.
I mean, Corey's easy because all I got to do is just put Destiny, and that's about it.
That's not 100% true. There's other games I enjoy playing.
Yeah, there's Destiny 1 and Destiny 2.
Yeah. Ed.
And DLC.
What, Destiny, Tetris, and what else?
Super Mario 3D World. It's like his favorite 3D Mario.
Yeah, Mario 3D World. I mean...
Yep.
Look, I mean, if you're going to tell me which games, if I were to make a top 5 franchises right now list to play forever, and that would be it, I would say Destiny, Zelda, Tetris, Assassin's Creed, and oh gosh, I guess I don't even know a 5th one.
Kirby, because I know you love Kirby so much.
No, if I was left playing Kirby games for the rest of my life, I would stop playing video games.
Would you do Fire Emblem or Fantasy
Yeah, Fire Emblem. There you go. Thank you. Yes, I was like, I know there's another Nintendo franchise I like more than most games. Yeah, Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Yep. Awkward silence.
Because you
And it's done. We're over. Goodbye. No.
Well, everybody, that has been an episode of Nintendo Pow Block, episode 299. I want to thank you, Shane. I want to thank you, Stephanie. Where can we find you guys? Stephanie, where can we find you?
People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Klimov_author. Find me here on, Wednesday nights on the Boss Rush podcast and episodes of After Dark and Standard Definition, the Disney episodes.
Yes. Shane, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me here writing articles for Boss Rush Network. You can find me at Another Zelda Podcast writing articles. And I'm mainly on Twitter at Still Saying Shane.
Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at I am Corey HC on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting the Boss Rush podcast on episodes of After Dark. You can find me here on Nintendo Pow Block and Expansion Pass. You can find me on Standard Definition and various other things that are going on here on the Boss Rush Network. I also do a Destiny podcast called Tower Casuals you can check out if you are into Destiny.
You guys can find me on Twitter at that Pressure Code and on Instagram at the same name. You can find me on Discord. Check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, and find me at other places here. Besides Nintendo Pow Block, you guys can check me out on Expansion Pass. Sometimes I join the Crossroad crew, and wherever else I'm needed at here on Boss Rush. But everybody, like I said, we are on the road to 300. Next episode, me and Corey are doing our top 30 Nintendo games.
Oh yeah, buckle up.
It's going to be a roller coaster of a discussion. And if you want to be a part of it, guys, we have merch on our Redbubble page. You can go to www.redbubble.com/bossrush.
You can go to bossrush.net and click the store icon. That's the fastest way to get there.
I was trying to remember it by heart.
I don't know it by heart either. By the way, the Pride stuff is up and ready to purchase.
Yeah.
If you are inclined to do so.
Yes. You guys could go there and get a 300 shirt or, our new Nintendo Pow Block. And, support, yes.
Nice.
I love it.
Yes. Or, get a Boss Rush podcast, Crossroads, Standard Definition. We got a lot of merch on the store that you guys could go and pick up and help support Boss Rush. Also, like we said earlier, if you want to be a producer on our show, $5 will get you in. If not, $1 would do it. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. We will see you next time for episode 300, our milestone episode. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Corey. And
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Welcome. And we will see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.